It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back. Your Feel Good Breakfast Show live, large and in charge. It's a Monday morning. Let's hit you up with some of the latest news from the local entertainment industry. What's happening?
Local is always lekker,
yes.
especially on a Monday.
Yes.
Well, anyways, the Moretele Park organisers are demanding that Amanda Black and 2 other artists pay back the money for the performance fees, after they failed to show up on stage for an event that happened last weekend. Now, Amanda issued an apology to fans on social media for the no-show, where she also told fans that organisers allegedly did not honour their side of the agreement. Managing Director of Drakensberg Promotions said that he told Times News that they were surprised by the excuses that Amanda Black was busy tweeting instead of getting her management to pay back the money. And they said, that is where we are now. Amanda must pay us the money. She's trying to say that she was there earlier. And of course, they're like, but where were you? Yeah. Where were you in the whole
so
thing?
nobody actually saw her?
Yeah.
No one saw her, clearly.
Exactly.
Yeah, how insane is that? So, I mean, basically they're saying that she's trying to cover up by saying that, you know, they didn't do right by her in terms of contract and all of that. They're saying, first of all, these people, that's her, she's saying, first of all, these people wanted to use the issue of money as an excuse until they realized that they actually got paid. Both Amanda and Java were saying the same thing about being paid or not being paid the morning of the show.
So she and Java didn't show up for the show.
That really sucks.
Yeah, because I mean, obviously the fans are like, oh
That's
no,
it.
we were expectant of a great performance, and they are 2 of the biggest names in the industry right now.
Exactly.
But it's not like there wasn't a medical emergency or something, like somebody was.
They first claimed they hadn't been paid, but they'd been sent proof of payment on that morning. So.
Yeah.
And also when you say that I was there earlier, what do you mean? Okay, it's cool that you were there earlier, but then what happened when it was like, okay, 10 minutes standby backstage,
said,
you got your in-ears, you good.
But then Amanda also says that the organisers did not uphold their side of the commitment. Like, what was the commitment? Were they supposed to fly you there? Were they supposed to put you up in a hotel? I don't understand. So we need to find out like the details, because the people want Amanda. And Amanda didn't show up, and now the organisers want their money back. So everybody wants something.
What I want personally is for Amanda and Java, if they watching, to call us on 021-403-9881 and let us know what the story is, because it's important.
Before they call 430.
Yeah, I was about to say, because if they call us on 403, then they're not going to pitch up for that phone call either, because we're not going to get it. But anyway, that's the latest news from the entertainment scene. We'll have a report on some international news a bit later on.
I think we must just open the lines for the entire show this morning. You can rant. Amanda, we would love to hear from you as well, Sachaba. But give us a call now. We're going to lighten the mood just a little bit now, have a bit of fun with one of our favourite games. It's a very tough, difficult game of Guess Who, where we blur out the face of it, or we pixelate, it's probably a better term, the face of someone really famous, and then give you a couple of clues.
And there's our first image.
I think I might even know just from the photo.
Well, we do give you a couple of clues to make it a little bit easier. And the first clue this morning is she's an American actress and filmmaker. She was only 6 years old when she was the youngest student at the American Conservatory Theatre. In 2015, she won an Academy Award for Best Actress for her role in the drama Room. And she will star in the lead role of the much-anticipated superhero film Captain Marvel, alongside Jude Law and Samuel L. Jackson.
That Captain Marvel is making waves online, so you should know who this starlet is. If not, you better get Googling. Hit us up on all of our social media platforms. At Expresso Show is the handle to use.
Well, it is a brand new week, and of course, we are bringing all of the feel-good vibes on this Monday morning, and we are asking you to join us in donating money to CHOC, because we are trying to help the organisation that is doing incredible work buy a brand new home for cancer patients and their families in Pretoria. And it's a very, very easy thing. For the next hour or so, we're going to have a QR code on your screen that you can scan using your SnapScan app, and then donate as little or as much as you possibly can to help these
it can't be
families.
any easier than this, because I think a lot of people, you know, sometimes have the problem with not having cash on hand or having to have banking details, but this is super easy. All you need to do is take your phone, scan the QR code, make your donation, and it's as easy as that. And of course, we're all making a donation towards the CHOC House in Pretoria with SnapScan or Zapper, so that's wonderful.
And a little bit goes a very, very long way at the end of the day if, you know, we each, let's say, stay off like R5
Yeah.
from your daily budget, perhaps, and donate it, and we all do it across the country, I think we could be helping them do that very, very quickly.
Exactly. What I've done is I've kind of taken a week's worth of coffees that I
Yeah.
would have after the live show that I would go and buy. And I've decided that is what I'm donating towards.
As
It's very
simple as
easy.
that,
Okay?
yeah.
Every little
So-
bit counts, like you said.
Absolutely. So we've chosen to help make the difference, or a difference in the lives of children with cancer, and we would love for you to get involved as well. So you can donate through SnapScan, there's Zapper, there's Backer Buddy, or even EFT if you'd like to. If you'd like more information on all of this, go to our Expresso Facebook page or visit our website, expressoshow.com.
Every day that brave young kids and their families battle cancer, the CHOC Childhood Cancer Foundation supports them. And here at Expresso, we'd love you to help us fund their newest CHOC home in Pretoria. You can donate through SnapScan, Zapper, Backer Buddy or direct EFT. Go to the Expresso website or tune into Expresso for more details.
Princess, ooh, croissants fresh. Can I have a donut, please? One of
Donuts
these.
for breakfast.
Or
Oh,
two,
wow.
we'll share.
Oh, wow. Okay. Well, listen, we're taking a quick break on your Feel Good Breakfast show. Why don't you go get yourself some breakfast as well? But when we get back, we'll take a look at a tech update. I feel like Google's been around forever, but in fact, it hasn't. It's turning 20 years old, and we'll touch on that.
Only 20. Well, Nick Rabinovitz has turned 40, and he's joining us this morning in the studio to tell us about what that's been like for him. Has he hit the midlife crisis yet? He's got a show in Joburg at Monte Casino, and he's going to be telling us all about that after the break. Stay with us.
Enjoy a moment in between with McCafe. See you after the break.
Only you can make my day. It's my feel good breakfast show.
Welcome back. This is your Feel Good Breakfast show, Expresso, and it's time for us to check out some of the interesting, the funny, and of course, those random things that we stumbled across on social media this morning.
Well, here's a beautiful story of why you should never ever cry wolf. Okay, so this woman in the UK, her name's Charlotte Pert, decided that she was going to prank her family by telling them that she won £250,000.
When she hadn't.
When she hadn't. Okay, so she was like, I won this money, everybody, and then she's like, gotcha. She didn't actually win. But then guess what? 3 weeks later, she actually goes and wins £1 million on Euro Millions. And when she told the family, they were like, girl, bye.
Nah,
We are
tonight.
not falling for that twice.
Yeah.
Until she actually showed them the screenshot of the winner's message, and they were like losing their minds. But how
Imagine a
insane is
million.
That
that?
is absolutely
See, you have to speak these
insane.
things
You have
into
to speak
existence.
it
you do have to speak them into
I
existence.
speak it all the time.
I'm
and then
speaking it
nothing
into
happens.
existence.
Prank us.
I have won $1 million. Watch next week. Okay, listen to this one. A man has effortlessly jumped over 8 chairs. Now the question to you guys is, would you actually jump over 8 chairs?
Listen,
No.
one chair is difficult enough.
There we go. Well, this guy's name is Dexton Crutchfield. He shows us how it's done. Look at that.
That's
That is
amazing.
like Olympic
jumping.
levels.
Oh my
Cross
gosh.
hurdles.
And look at him almost like
high jump.
walking in the air there, eh? That's like insane.
Listen, you gotta
crazy.
have like such confidence, because if like mid-air you lose your confidence, you are crashing into those
Yeah,
jets.
You have to see it
You
through.
gotta be like,
You have to do it like, yeah, you know what you're doing.
Wow.
Well, this video has hit 30,000 likes on social media.
Oh,
so
very interesting. And something else that will just bring some little sunshine to your life. The lady by the name Erin, she posted this video on Facebook. It's her little daughter Abby that's serenading their cat Bailey with the song of "You Are My Sunshine" from, I think it's Johnny Cash. So just take a listen.
You make me happy. In skies so gray. You never know, dear, how much I love you. So please don't take me to turn away.
it's like levels of adorable right now.
That is
It's
adorable.
Too much. It's too much. I love it.
Well, in case you come across an interesting hashtag, a video, or a story that's caught your attention online this morning, why don't you share your thoughts with us online on our Facebook page or even Twitter using that hashtag Expresso Show.
Well, pull your pits a little bit closer. We're about to serenade them as well right now. Our guest artist, Miguel Freguero, is in the studio sharing his love of music with us, and he's about to perform his very first radio single, and it's called Vámonos.
Vámonos. Miguel Freguero. Your body, you can't see what I see. Could I get you? Maybe, but I don't wanna lie. Your beauty brings out all my fear deep inside. Now I can't believe what is standing right in front of me. I see a girl out of my league and she's approaching me. What do I have to do to make sure she'll come home with me? Come on! Vámonos, bonita, tengo algo especial para ti. Y cuando quieres entender, tendré todo de mí. Your body, vámonos, vámonos, you can't see what I see. Vámonos, vámonos, could I get you? Maybe. Vámonos, vámonos, but I don't wanna lie. Your beauty brings out all my fear deep inside. Vámonos, vámonos. Vámonos, vámonos. Your body is driving me crazy. Would you be my lady so I can call you mine? Come with me, baby, I'll show you a time now. I can't believe what is standing right in front of me. I see a girl out of my league and she's approaching me. I think it's time to take it further and come home with me. Come on! Vámonos, bonita, tengo algo especial para ti. Y cuando quieres entender, tendré todo de mí. Your body, vámonos, vámonos, you can't see what I see. Vámonos, vámonos, could I get you? Maybe. Vámonos, vámonos, but I don't wanna lie. Your beauty brings out all my fear deep inside. Vámonos, vámonos. Vámonos, vámonos. So come with me, come with me, come with me. Vámonos, vámonos. A night to remember, I'll guarantee. Vámonos, vámonos. And we can start our own party. I promise you'll remember me. Let's sing it one more time, baby. Said 1, 2, 3. Your body, vámonos, vámonos. You can't see what I see. Vámonos, vámonos, could I get you? Maybe. Vámonos, vámonos, but I don't wanna lie. Your beauty brings out all my fear deep inside. Vámonos, vámonos. Vámonos, vámonos. Vámonos, vámonos. Obrigado.
Jazz.
He's got it.
Jazz.
Oh, where's the music? I was in my Latino, vibe is here, man. Very, very nice stuff, dude.
Thank you.
Vámonos. So, is this kind of harking back to your Portuguese heritage, right?
Yeah, so the inspiration for this song kind of came from spending some time in Spain over December. And vámonos is a common word, like let's go.
Yeah.
Vámonos.
Let's do it.
So I thought let's write a song about that, bring the Latin vibe.
Very cool.
With some Portuguese musical influence as well. So that's kind of where it...
Beautiful stuff, man. Great way to start off your career, I believe. I really like the song, and it's out on radio right now. Hopefully it's getting mad spins all around. But let us know what you thought about that performance of Vámonos by Miguel Preguero. We'll have more from the gentleman a little bit later on. I'm in that. Vámonos. Just hear it, get it.
Johannesburg's Mayor Herman Mashaba has reiterated that buildings which are not compliant with safety standards must be demolished and rebuilt. This follows a blaze that ripped through the Bank of Lisbon building in the Johannesburg CBD on Wednesday. 3 firefighters died in attempts to extinguish the blaze. There have long been concerns about the building, which housed 3 Gauteng departments, and the failure to adhere to safety regulations. Investigations to determine the cause of the deadly fire are expected to begin today. Global consultancy Bain & Company has said that it will set aside the 164 million rand it received as fees from SARS through a controversial tender to better serve South Africa. An independent investigation by law firm Baker McKenzie has already started to yield findings. One of these being that the engagement between Bain and the tax agency fell short of its operating principles. A statement said Bain would seek guidance from business, government and civil society on how the funds could best be used. Now moving further abroad, 19 people were killed when a light passenger plane crashed into a lake as it tried to land in thick fog in central South Sudan yesterday. Only 4 people, including 2 children, survived the crash. The aircraft was carrying 23 people from the capital Juba to the city of Yiro. Images posted on social media showed the twisted wreckage of the aircraft submerged in water as local fishermen used canoes to help with rescue and retrieval efforts. And then finally, France has banned the use of smartphones in schools as the law to take effect later this month. France passed legislation that bans cell phone use in schools, though the country originally banned cell phone use during all teacher activity back in 2010. The new legislation means that learners between the ages of 3 and 15 will either have to leave their phones at home or keep them turned off during the school day. Education Minister Jean-Michel Blanquer said that there is a phenomenon of screen addiction, and the main purpose is to protect children and adolescents. The new law takes effect later this month. Well, that was your 7 o'clock news update. Here's another look at what's happening in the world of sport with Graham Richards.
Let's kick it off with international rugby. The Springboks fell to their 2nd defeat in the Rugby Championship this season as they lost out to Australia by 23 points to 18 on Saturday. Well, the Boks went into halftime leading by 18 to 17. They failed to add to that as Australia's Matt Tamua successfully kicked 2 penalties to snatch a win for the men in yellow. In the weekend's other match, New Zealand, they march on. They beat Argentina by 46 points to 24. And staying with rugby, the Cheetahs and Kings are still in search of their first Pro 14 wins this season. Both teams tasting defeat on Saturday. In Wales, the Cheetahs scored 2 tries as they lost out to the Ospreys by 46 points to 14, while the Kings suffered a 27-22 loss to the Dragons. And of course, in local Currie Cup action this weekend, the Lions thrashed the Free State 47-14. The Bulls beat the Griquas 45-40 in a nail-biter, while the Sharks downed the Pumas 28 points to 12. Then on to football, also in our international window at the moment. Bafana dropped points in their AFCON qualifying campaign on Saturday, playing out to a goalless draw with Libya in Durban. The point earned from the stalemate does see Bafana hold on to 2nd place in Group E with 4 points. Libya currently first, only ahead on goal difference. In other AFCON qualifying results, Egypt crushed Niger 6-0. Angola edged out Botswana 1-0, while Zimbabwe and Congo, they drew 1 apiece. Then finally on to tennis. Novak Djokovic was crowned US Open Men's Championship at Flushing Meadows this morning. And that happened in the wee hours thanks to a straight sets win over Juan Martin Del Potro. Djokovic secured his 3rd US Open title and 14th career Grand Slam. as he saw out the 6-3, 7-6, 6-3 win after 3 hours and 16 minutes on court. Plenty of drama in the women's side of the draw as well. That final played out on Saturday with 20-year-old Naomi Osaka beating Serena Williams in straight sets. The match was, however, marked by controversy as Williams was docked points and ultimately a game for coaching, racket abuse and for verbal abuse against the chair umpire. That's where we leave our sport for now.
Well, let's take another look at the road, starting off in Gauteng, central Johannesburg. In the CBD at Albertina Sisulu, it's closed off to traffic. That's at Sawyer Street as a result of a building that's caught on fire, so please find an alternative route. And in Rosettenville in Johannesburg South, there's a multi-vehicle accident on the N12 eastbound just before Comero Street. 3 lanes have been blocked off, so please approach with caution, but you can expect major delays this morning. I'll have another update for you in half an hour.
More than a club, more than an appliance brand. Defy.
Well, we love receiving your beautiful sunrise pictures. A big thank you to Saki Burger for sending us this beautiful sunrise photo from the skyline from Marble Hall in Limpopo. If you're in that side of the world, you can expect a warm day today. However, a cold front is heading that way this evening. But looking at the temperatures, we start off in Polokwane. A low of 5 can be expected with a high of 21. Mbombela 6 reaching a high of 24. Pretoria 6 with a high of 20. Johannesburg 5 reaching a high of 20. Mahikeng 5, 23. Klerksdorp 3 with a high of 22. Partly cloudy in Kimberley, a low of 4, a high of 20. Bloemfontein starting off on 0, reaching a high of 19. Richards Bay 11 with a maximum of 20. Pietermaritzburg 5, 19. Durban 14, 20. Mthatha 4 with a high of 20. Sunny conditions in East London, a low of 10, a high of 19. Cradock 2 with a high of 20. Port Elizabeth starting off with 11, reaching a high of 20. George 8 with a maximum of 19. Partly cloudy in Sutherland, a low of 2, a high of 16. Cape Town today, sunny conditions, a low of 9 and a high of 20. Worcester 4, 23. Springbok 5, 24. And Uppington 8 with a high of 24 degrees Celsius. That's where I leave your weather. I'll have another update for you at 7:30.
Have you ever asked yourself, what would life be like if there was no Google? I don't even want to think about life before
I don't want to think
Google.
about that.
The nice thing is, after this, we chat tech news, and Google turns a whole 20 years old.
Can
Absolutely
you
amazing.
believe it?
Yeah.
Well, also coming up to the break, if you are notorious for skipping breakfast like I am, you need to stick around because you get to find out why it's so important to have breakfast every morning with Lauren Moore and Graham. So stay with us after the break.
Naughty, naughty.
Are you the smoothest fan to Mzansi's biggest stars?
Prove it by entering SABC1's Tropica Smooth Fan Quiz Show. Buy Tropica and follow the entry details on the label. Select your favorite celeb who you think you know best to participate in the quiz show. And stand a chance to win thousands of instant daily prizes and a share of 1 million rand. Enter and catch the Tropica Smooth Fan Quiz Show on SABC1, Fridays at 6 p.m.
It's a Monday morning, the start of a brand new week, and this is your Feel Good Breakfast Show Expresso on SABC3. Now, last week, Tuesday, marked Google's 20th birthday. Of course, a big influence in shaping the modern-day internet into what we know it as today. But have you ever wondered why Google even started in the first place? Well, we're joined by our tech expert, Brian Smith, who has promised to let us know exactly what Google has done for the internet. I'm assuming a great deal,
Very
Brian.
much so.
And last week, we were like, happy 20th birthday, but take us back to the very beginning, the big why Google was started.
Absolutely. So in the 1990s, as ironic as it sounds now, we didn't really have a clear idea of what we were going to use the internet for. And fast forward to today, that's a very different world indeed. So what a number of companies did at the time was debut search engines which would index web pages by relevance.
Yes.
And at the time, the common practice was to mine or scrape a certain web page for a term that one could search for. And the idea was the more that term appeared in a search page, hence the more relevant that page would be to a user. Google was actually started as a company called Backrub by Larry Page and Sergey Brin. Yes, Backrub.
Okay.
Thank goodness for Google. And what Google did different principally was that it rather calculated the amount of links flowing to a page as a marker of relevance rather than how many times a specific term appeared on that page.
Okay, and that's exactly where it started out back then. And since then, what do you think Google has actually done for the internet? More than, like you said, give us a direction into which we could say, well, this is what the internet is for.
I think the biggest marker of Google's success is that for the average person connecting today to the internet, Google is the internet. It's your gateway to information and a plethora of other services, from web-based email to documents to calendar to even entertainment on YouTube. And I think the biggest mark of Google's success is that it's been able to organize the web and that it makes most information far easier to access for the average person.
Yeah, but it's also done its own mining in acquiring a lot of individual personal information that has aided, I think, advertising agencies and companies out there. So
Definitely.
Where are they heading? What's the future of Google looking like?
So that's a good point, in that Google's been very successful in creating new industries and economies for itself. And to break down that heinous jargon, what I mean is that where Google realized that it had already conquered the world with search, it then went on to acquire and develop Android as the platform for mobile phones, so you're already accessing Google from your mobile phone. And going forward into the next 10 years, Google's priority, its main focus will likely be trying to connect the next 3 billion people in the world who haven't been on the internet yet.
Wow.
And if you can consider that's not only great for democracy and citizenship on the internet, but also great for Google's business.
Yeah. Could anyone ever challenge Google? Do you think like there's somebody out there who's thinking about the next evolution of search engines or internet connectivity that could possibly take over Google?
That's an excellent question. What at the moment Google has is monopoly, essentially, for better or for worse. They do have great products, but it's never great to have one sole competitor. What a lot of lawmakers in the United States and abroad are considering is regulation to retain these monopolies and at least create competition. So it's very likely in the future we may have products that might debut with a different focus that can at least compete to Google and hopefully not just be totally undermined by its dominance.
Yeah, well, the future will remain to be seen. Thanks very much for joining us. As always, Brian Smith, much appreciated. Let us know, link up with us on our social media pages, which you probably accessed via Google. What do you think the internet would be like without Google? And of course, use hashtag Expresso Show when you are interacting with us on social media.
Well, it is round 2 of our fitness with Rudy. He is back and we're focusing on leg day today. Earlier we did isolation on muscle isolations.
Isolate muscle groups.
That's the one, the term. And now we're adding resistant bands to our workout.
Yes. So the nice thing with the resistant bands, it prevents injury as well, especially if you want to add weights to your workout. Using weights above your shoulder or something, you're prone to more injury. Whereas this is very low impact using resistant bands. Now we're using both legs, so we don't have to stabilize as much.
And I love a resistance band
you can feel like
you can really,
feels quite a lot of elasticity. We're going to start with your basic squat. It adds resistance, but ensure you keep your back straight, you push your buttocks out, your feet shoulder width apart, your knees are not exceeding the front of your toe. You're just going to go down, up. The nice thing today, we're going to focus on your entire leg. So right now we're focusing on your quads, which are here in front, and your glutes as well.
There we go.
You can see Zoe has great form at the moment.
Thank you, I'll take that. Not often I get compliments during exercise, I'm just saying.
We're gonna do 3, 2, 1, and now we're just gonna pulse, pulse. We're gonna do this all in one motion. You're not gonna take a break.
Okay,
It's 4 exercises.
It's really gonna burn.
It's really gonna burn. Normally you can pulse for about 20 to 30 seconds. It's really activating your quads and your glutes, and in 3, 2, 1, calf raises, alternating sides. We are focusing now on the on your calves, So this is as you're working down the back of your leg from the top all the way down.
There we go. Okay,
For
it really is burning the quads, the thighs.
And you do a little hop
there we
for
go.
3, 2, 1 for a nice explosive workout.
Okay, I really like that. And there's something about the resistance band that's just, it adds a fun element to it.
Fun element, and it
Keeps
adds
you in place.
Added resistance, and it really helps with toning.
Okay.
Toning your glutes, your buttocks, your calves, quads, everything, hamstrings. Okay. Right now you'll notice you work the entire leg, starting from the top all the way down, ending with an explosive, combining all the movements.
Oh, I love that. Rudy, always great having you here. Please come back and join us. Where can people find you on social media? I was aiming for that hand, I'm just saying.
Just Rudy Witkowski. You can find me on Instagram. Or you can find me on my website, easyabs.co.za.
Awesome stuff.
Instagram, Facebook, Rudy Witkowski Official.
Well, listen, follow the man if you want to stay inspired. He will be back on your Feel Good Breakfast show one day to bring us another awesome fitness session.
Now, if you're a cereal breakfast skipper, then stay tuned. Lauren Moore is back to talk about why we should have breakfast right here.
If you think breakfast is boring, then you haven't tried Jungle Muesli. We love it, and we've got the full range here this morning to explore, available in an array of delicious flavors and pack sizes as well. You're bound to find a favorite that suits your taste buds and your lifestyle. The best part of it, that it's healthy as well. So made with roasted rolled oats, Jungle Muesli is high in energy, high in fiber, low in sodium, which is so important, which means you can enjoy a bowl without any of the guilt. And Lauren Moore is back in studio to give us a lowdown on why you shouldn't skip breakfast and to help us understand why we should be eating with the right approach first up, because this really is what's going to set the tone. So Lauren, welcome back.
Thank you.
I'm just thinking about my own daily routine. I'm terrible with breakfast, but it's because we start our day at like 4 in the morning and you charge into work. But why is breakfast so important? Why does it set the tone?
I know a lot of dietitians and a lot of people always focus on breakfast, like you say. Some people say it's the most important meal of the day. Tend to agree with that just because the goal of breakfast is to stabilize your blood sugar for the rest of the day. So generally what happens when you're sleeping, you're fasting, so breakfast is essentially breaking your fast. Generally what happens is that your blood sugar starts dropping, and if it drops to a point where your brain feels like it's not getting enough fuel, then the brain will switch on that appetite.
How much of our daily calorie intake should we be taking in first thing in the morning?
It's a tricky question. I'm not a fan of like tracking calories and that
each
sort of
person
thing.
is slightly different
Everyone's
as well.
different.
Yeah.
So some people really struggle to eat breakfast because they feel a bit nauseous and they don't have much of an appetite. So for them, you would really just focus on getting a little bit in there that's going to help stabilize that sugar until they get to a point later on where they can eat a bit more. So for them, their calorie composition for their breakfast would be a lot less, whereas someone else might be pretty hungry in the morning and have more calories. But ideally, you're generally aiming for about 3 moderate-sized meals during the day.
Now, the funny thing is, I actually learned through the show, as we pick up all these amazing, often pretty useless facts about life, that bacon and eggs was actually a marketing campaign done in the US way back when. But we've now taken it on board that we've got to have this massive protein, a fatty breakfast of bacon and eggs every day. Is this the case? Do we need protein for breakfast? When ideally should you be taking in your protein? Is it a dinner thing or is it just perception?
A lot of people, for them, breakfast is cereal and milk, and often that can end up being a very high calorie type of breakfast. So protein does a couple of things. Protein, and essentially what you want from your breakfast is you want a little bit of carbs to stabilize your sugar, so slow releasing high fiber carbs. And then you want to pair that with some protein or some healthy fat. So protein is always a good option for together with your
and again, it's balance,
carbs.
something that always seems to be the main thing with us. And I love it. A nice little boiled egg and a bowl of your Jungle Muesli. So we've got a lovely kind of jumping off point with so many different variations. And I love the Jungle Muesli from a textural perspective, the flavor, the taste. It gives you a lot, and obviously not this massive sodium load which comes in so many of our preserved breakfast cereals and those sorts of things. What are some good breakfast tips, some ideas that you generally, as a dietitian, give to people?
So again, it comes back to that balance and not relying completely on your carbs. So what's great about these mueslis is that they've got added healthy fats. So we were talking earlier about your proteins. You want your lean proteins, not necessarily your bacon, which is not so lean. And then when we're talking about fats, you want your healthy fats. So your nuts and your seeds form part of that healthy fat.
Yeah,
exactly. And what the healthy fats do is they'll hold everything in your stomach for longer, and they keep you full for longer, and they lower the GI of the whole meal. So that's really a good benefit. And I think what's a great option is to always just make sure that you're not choosing a breakfast that's got a lot of added sugar. So that would be something that you would want to avoid, because again, that's going to spike your blood sugar. Why do we always talk about spiking your blood sugar? If you're not diabetic or you're not someone living with insulin resistance, why do you care about spiking your blood sugar? Because your blood sugar it is directly related to your appetite. So if you keep spiking and dropping your sugar, you're going to keep getting those appetite signals, and that's going to increase your calorie intake and make you feel like you're always peckish and you're always hungry. So that's why it's so important.
You're going to be
exactly.
hungry throughout
Exactly.
the day. I love that. It's actually made me really hungry, which is a good sign. So if you're not a fan of eating in the morning, or you simply don't have the time, pack a snack bar or some fruit into your bag. Or even better yet, keep your jungle muesli at the office like we do, so that when you finally do have time and the urge, that you can give your body the nutrients it needs to keep you going. And of course, know that you're making the best choice to start your day.
Well, I hope you're taking down some notes. Now, listen to this. Jungle Oats is running an exciting competition where you can win a Jungle Oats hamper. Now, if you want to be a winner too, then head over to our Expresso Facebook page and answer the question on the Jungle Oats competition post, and you will be put in the draw. Now, the competition closes on Tuesday, the 11th of September at midnight. T's and C's apply and can be found on expressoshow.com.
South Africa's original oat champion now has a range of nutritious, delicious muesli. New Jungle Muesli, available in an exciting variety of flavors.
What was that?
Stay tuned to your Feel Good Breakfast Show. What was that? When we come back, we speak about really inspiring stuff. An all-female expedition going across southern African countries promoting the protection and the conservation of our wildlife, called Rise of the Matriarch. Carla Geyser joins us to unpack what will be a very exciting and I'm sure challenging 50 days coming up.
Absolutely amazing. And then we're unpacking what's happening in the kitchen, because coming up after the break, we're making a mature cheddar cheese, biltong, and onion pot bread. I know, my tummy, she's rumbling. All that more coming up after the break.
And built.
Science reaches for the truth. Science works for the big and the small, the old and the young. Science never gives up. And science is at the heart of biology-based nutrition, for differences you can see, feel, and trust. The secret to lifelong health, it all starts with science.
Some of the biggest obstacles that you've been met with on this journey, the itinerary, what that looks like, and how viewers can then get involved in the expedition. So the Elephant Ignite expedition, that was in 2016. Yes. So it takes 2 years to put one together. My gosh, okay.
It's my Feel Good Breakfast Show.
Welcome back to your Monday morning. This is your Feel Good Breakfast Show Expresso on SABC3. Now, September, a very inspirational month, and one which marks the start of an all-female expedition called Rise of the Matriarch that makes its way through various southern African countries, visiting various wildlife organizations and conservations as well. Now, the last time that they did this, it was the Elephant Ignite expedition that took place. They traveled over 15,787 kilometers, right?
Wow.
over 100 days through 10 countries. And we're joined by Carla Gezer, who's the founder of NPO Blue Sky Society Trust, to tell us all about it. Thank you for joining us.
It's an absolute pleasure. Thanks for having me here.
Wow. Carla, you have to tell me, you have to tell us, what was the motivation behind an all-female expedition like what you're doing right now?
In about 2012, I started hearing about the poaching crisis that's happening to our elephants. And you know what, we live in a society where every single day we've got pressures, if it's racism and terrorism and, you know, inflated prices of living. And I just decided, you know, we've become quite numb to what's happening around us. And I just heard about the elephant poaching. We're losing 98 elephant a day on average. It's one every 15 to 20 minutes. Wow. And I just decided that I couldn't be a person that just sat back and does nothing about it or just moans about it. So I decided to start doing this all-female expedition. And females because a matriarch leads a herd, and I wanted to lead this group of females into Africa. Yeah. And and there've been incredible men that have gone out there and couples that have gone out there, but not many groups of females. And I wanted to just showcase to people around the world that it's safe for a group of females to go into Africa. Yeah. So that
and to have such an amazing impact as well, when I just think about the distance you're covering. And now we're looking at the next 50 days, where you'll be covering some 9,000
Yes, it'll probably be over 9,000 kilometers. That's on average. But yeah.
How long does it even take to put together an expedition of this nature?
It's a lot of work. Yeah. It's a lot of Googling, researching, relationship building, because you've got to connect with the organizations. One of the main pillars is for us to go and meet these incredible organizations that they're the actual heroes and sheroes. They're the ones that deal with these poaching problems, with human-wildlife conflict, and they're the ones that we want to go and meet and hear their stories and hopefully support them wherever we possibly can. Tell these stories to the world, because the world needs to know what's happening to our wildlife.
Now, Carla, I mean, an expedition like this, you must have and meet so many obstacles along the way. What are some of the greatest ones that you guys come across?
The biggest challenges are things like, I mean, it costs a lot of money to put these expeditions off. Each crew member pays their own way, so they cover their own logistics. But it's trying to find corporates to come on board in terms of fundraising. It's getting people to donate. People are suffering from a bit of donor fatigue at the moment because every corner you turn, there's somebody asking for this and somebody asking for that. Yeah. Security is always it's an all-female group, so you do attract a lot of attention. So security is always one of my priorities, obviously keeping the crew safe. So it's quite stressful, but it's also, I mean, Africa's good, bad, all at the same time, but it's never boring. But it can also make you feel alive, like you've never felt before. And the spirit of Ubuntu is really out there in Africa. Yeah, I know, it's great.
I'm glad that you get to experience that as well.
That is the beauty of it.
And these images speak volumes, you know, like you say, about the heroes and the shearers and the people that are involved on the ground. So over the next 50 days, the 9,000 plus kilometers, take me through the itinerary and what that's going to look like.
Okay, so we're leaving from Johannesburg, from the Getaway Show, next Sunday. So in 6 days' time. Yeah, it's And I've got 2 vehicles. I've got my trusty 1997 Dora. She's a little TDI Land Rover.
The Explorer.
No, she was named by my nieces.
Oh,
it's
really?
So sweet,
Okay.
And then I've got another vehicle from Ava Safari. So there are 2 vehicles, and there'll be about 4 or 5 crew members. We're heading from Joburg. We're heading into Zimbabwe. Then from Zimbabwe, go into Botswana, and then Namibia, then back into Botswana, and then finishing off and with Elephants Alive and Hoedspruit. And I'm the only one that's doing the entire 50 days, and then I've got the crew members coming in and out for like two weeks at a time.
Before we let you go, we would love for our viewers to get involved. How can they get involved?
Well, they can follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Blue Sky Society, and just, I mean, you don't know how encouraging it is. I mean, it's quite an emotional roller coaster when you're out there. You're hearing about the challenges that these organizations face. You're hearing about the poaching, you're hearing about the stuff that's happening in the communities. And it's so encouraging just to get messages from home, from your viewers and from people just encouraging us to go out there and carry on.
Yeah, well, thank you for bringing us your story.
It's a pleasure.
Very inspiring on this Monday morning. So as Carla just said, follow them on social media at Blue Sky Society, and we look forward to a report back on that journey.
In the national news, Johannesburg Mayor Herman Mashaba has reiterated that buildings that are not compliant with safety standards must be demolished and rebuilt. This follows a blaze that ripped through the Bank of Lisbon building in the Johannesburg CBD on Wednesday, in which 3 firefighters perished. Global consultancy Bain & Company has said that it will set aside the 164 million rand it received as fees from SARS through a controversial tender to better serve South Africa. A statement said Bain would seek guidance from business, government and civil society on how the funds could best be used. On the international front, 19 people were killed when a light passenger plane crashed into a lake as it tried to land in thick fog in central South Sudan yesterday. Only 4 people, including 2 children, survived the crash. And then finally, France has passed legislation that bans cell phone use in schools. The new legislation means that learners between the ages of 3 and 15 will either have to leave their phones at home or keep them turned off during the school day. Well, that was your 7:30 news update. I'll have another full bulletin for you at the top of the hour.
Let's kick it off with rugby. The Springboks sadly fell to their second defeat in the Rugby Championships this season, losing out to Australia by 23 points to 18 on Saturday. Also in action, the All Blacks continued to march on, beating Argentina by 46 points to 24. Staying with rugby, the Cheetahs and Kings are still in search of their first Pro 14 wins this season. Both teams tasting defeat on Saturday. Well, in local Currie Cup action this weekend, there were big wins for the Lions, Bulls and the Sharks. Then in football, Bafana dropped points in their AFCON qualifying campaign on Saturday as they played out to a goalless draw with Libya in Durban. Elsewhere in our AFCON qualifiers, Egypt crushed Niger 6-0. While Angola, they just edged out Botswana 1-0. And finally, in tennis, Novak Djokovic was crowned US Open men's champion at Flushing Meadows early this morning, thanks to a straight sets win over Juan Martin Del Potro. In the women's final, plenty of drama on Saturday as 20-year-old Naomi Osaka beat Serena Williams in straight sets. We'll elaborate on those headlines one more time on the top of the hour.
Well, let's get you underway by taking a look at what to expect in your traffic today. In Gauteng, in Highveld, there's a stationary vehicle. This is on the N1 southbound. It's after the Brakfontein interchange where the center lane's been blocked, so please approach with caution. And staying in the Gauteng area in Johannesburg South, on the N12 eastbound, we still have that accident on Kumaro Street. Traffic is heavily backed up from Alamein Road, so please make use of an alternative route and allow for some extra travel time. That's where we leave your traffic, but let's take another look at your weather, and thank you for all of the beautiful sunrise pictures coming through. If you would love to send your picture, you can do so on our Facebook page. And this one's from Janlu Moos, who sent this beautiful sunrise from Auckland Beach. Thank you so much, Janlu. Now let's take a look at the rest of your temperatures. Starting off in Polokwane, a low of 5 can be expected with a high of 21. Sunny conditions, partly cloudy in Mbombela today, a low of 6, a high of 24. Pretoria 6 with a high of 20. Johannesburg 5, also reaching a high of 20. Sunny conditions in Mahikeng, 5 is your minimum, 23 your maximum. Klerksdorp 3 reaching a high of 22. Kimberley 4 with a high of 20. Bloemfontein 0 reaching a high of 19 degrees. Richards Bay 11 with a high of 20. Pietermaritzburg 5, 19. Durban 14 with a high of 20. Mthatha 4 reaching a high of 20. It's sunny in East London today, a low of 10, a high of 19. Also in Cradock, sunny conditions with a low of 2 and a high of 20. Port Elizabeth 11, 20. George 8, 19. Sutherland 6 with a high of 16. It's sunny in Cape Town with a low of 9, a high of 20. Worcester 4, 23. Springbok 5 with a high of 24. And Uppington a low of 8 with a high of 24 degrees Celsius. That's where I leave your weather. I'll have a final update for you at 8 o'clock.
Now let's get down to business. Insurance. In the history of good ideas, this one has got to be right up there. Bottom line, when something happens to your car, which you may not have the cash for or savings for to repair, your insurance cover is there for you and so important. So this week on Expresso, we look at how best to make that balance between your monthly payment and your insurance cover work for you.
Protecting yourself against life's little mishaps makes all the difference. It can be a very confusing process since most of us don't read the fine print and we don't know enough about what we are paying for. Today we are with Head of Standard Insurance Limited, Dr. Nonwale Mbalo, to find out everything you need to know.
We invest so much of our time and income in our homes and cars that we cannot afford to lose them or have them so damaged that we are left out of pocket and can't pay for the repairs.
Nolwandle, good to see you.
Good to see you too, Zoe.
You know what? I am always on the go, but how can I make sure my vehicle is adequately protected?
You need to make sure that you are covered against all possible losses, and primarily around your total loss in the event of an accident, as well as actually in the event of theft. It is important, therefore, when you're looking for your insurer, you look for an insurer that offers those possibilities, and a comprehensive cover is usually more than adequate to actually meet those requirements.
Your premium is largely based on your risk profile, where your house is, where your car's parked during the day and at night, so it pays to know how your insurer calculates risk.
Among my friends, we all drive similar cars, but I have noticed that our premiums are vastly different. Why is that?
The number of factors, Zoe, that are taken into account in determining your price. You could be actually driving similar cars, but the type of car is important. Where you drive, whether you use the car for personal or business use, also is another factor. So another determining factor in terms of the pricing is the safety element. Where is the car mostly parked? Those are some of the factors that actually contribute to the differentiation in price. Your claims history obviously will also differ. That is also taken into account in terms of the overall pricing.
To prevent unnecessary claims, every policy has an excess. When you make a claim, the excess is the amount you pay and your insurer pays the rest to cover the risk of the loss.
A lot of people are currently feeling the pinch. Why is it so important not to cancel your insurance?
It's important not to cancel your insurance, especially if you're still in possession of the assets, because it doesn't help you in mitigating the risk of exposure to any potential losses. However, there are ways that one can look at in terms of reducing the premium, the monthly premium that you pay. Your underwriter will give you options in terms of increasing your excess at a loss while keeping your premiums low on month-to-month basis. So it's important to note, even in the toughest of times, that you remain protected, especially if your assets are still as valuable and allows you to actually continue with your life. The damage or the dangers of not having cover is that your life is disrupted.
It is important to consider risks to your car or your house and to take that into consideration when you choose an insurer.
Some great advice from someone who knows, and that's how you protect your next. We'll be back with more insights in the coming weeks thanks to Standard Insurance Limited.
To keep living life while your risks are taken care of, being insured makes the best sense. Protect your next with Standard Insurance Limited. Get up to 20% cash back on your premiums. SMS Expresso to 31492 for a quote.
Well, it's been a fantastic Monday morning. Great start to the week, I would say. And we'll continue on that same vibe after the break. Miguel Preguero will be performing live on your Feel Good Breakfast show.
And we're taking it to the kitchen. We're making a mature cheddar cheese, biltong, and onion pot bread. So you want to stick around for all of that. Oh, sounds so yum.
Pot bread.
After the breaks. Pot bread. Pot bread. Okay. Bread.
All Expresso presenters and guests fly domestically with Mango. Enjoy outstanding service, online check-in and seat selection. With the widest booking and payment options, Mango is the only airline globally to accept store charge cards as a means of payment. Fly in comfort with ergonomically efficient seats for more legroom. Aboard a fleet of new generation Boeing 737-800 aircraft. Join the presenters of Expresso and fly Mango.
welcome back to your Feel Good Breakfast Show Expresso on a Monday morning. I hope you're getting those feel good awesomeness vibes stepping into your blood streams. It's time to check in with your international entertainment news, and we've got the gorgeous Masi Chaba with us in the studio this morning.
Yes,
queen.
Yes, you are looking phenomenal. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much.
We need this every day and twice on Sundays.
Thank you,
Hey?
thank you. I appreciate that.
You're looking stunning. Well, we're going to catch up with some international entertainment news. T, you want to kick us off?
Oh man, this one is really sad. On a sad note, Mac Miller, the rapper from Pittsburgh, whose debut album topped the charts back in 2011, is a very popular rapper. And he passed away. He was found in Los Angeles at the age of 26. He's passed away, was found unresponsive in his home in the Studio City neighborhood. And celebrity website TMZ says that it's an apparent drug overdose. So that is really, really sad news coming through there.
I don't know if you know this, but this is the day that Avicii passed away as well a year ago. So
Avicii
it's
passed
like
away a year ago? Is it a year? It's a year
already. Yeah, I mean it's crazy, like how time flies. Wow. It's absolutely ridiculous. You know what? There's something that's happening on the music scene right now that I think hurts me the most. Like there's a pain in my heart. Two of my favorite women in the rap industry, Nicki Minaj and Cardi B, the feud that has mainly consisted of diss tracks and Twitter subtweets. Now, this past weekend, it reached boiling point when they got physical with each other at a New York Fashion Week party on Friday night, leaving the social media streets pumped with adrenaline. Now, according to TMZ, TMZ is always on the pulse. Cardi approached Nicki on the first floor balcony of Harper's Bazaar's Icons party during a performance by Christina Aguilera. And then Cardi left the place without shoes because she threw her shoe at Nicki when she couldn't get to her. And she also left the scene with a bump over her eye, which she allegedly got after a security guard elbowed her in the heat of the moment. Cardi B also took to Instagram to explain why she attacked Nicki, even though she didn't name Nicki in the post. She said that she is fed up. She explained in her post that Nicki has been poking her buttons for a while now, but she crossed the line when she spoke about Cardi's mothering abilities and her daughter culture. And she says, I addressed you once in person, I addressed you a second time in person, and every time you copped a plea. So I don't know, this is very, very sad for me because like these women are all, they're both so just like talented in their own right. You know, this is not necessary. This is really, really not necessary.
It really isn't.
Like, can't they just come together, make a track together? I promise you it'll take the world by storm.
It'll be like, exactly.
Well, you know what? Nicki Minaj happens to be one of my favorite artists personally. I mean,
100%.
I've bought the Pink Friday album. I pretty much know every single song word for word, you know what I mean? So to see two powerful women at loggerheads it's a setback.
Exactly, and it's really not necessary. Like I said, they're both super talented, so they should just look at that little situation up in there. Oh, and she came ready, man. She came ready with the ring.
That's like, she's ready to punch. Well, that is your dose of entertainment, international entertainment news. We'll be back again with this tomorrow. Stay with us on your Feel Good Breakfast Show.
Listen, I'm a big fan of Masi Chaba. I'm so glad that she's here, especially she's celebrating her birthday with us today. Yeah. So what you got to ask yourself is, are you the smoothest fan of the biggest stars in Mzansi? Well, prove it by entering SABC1's new Smooth Fan Show.
That's right. Tropica Smooth Fan is looking for the smoothest fan of some of South Africa's biggest celebrities who will put their skills and celebrity knowledge to the test in the hopes of making it to the finale for a chance to win.
Yeah, now the contestants need to prove that they are the celebrity's smoothest fan by answering the various trivia questions in the fastest time to ensure a win. So the show will uncover some of the some fun facts about some of South Africa's biggest celebrities that you might not have known, and the contestants then stand a chance of winning incredible prizes and cash every week.
That's right, and each of the celebrities' smoothest fans will also make it to the final, and that's for the ultimate grand prize of a vehicle and 250,000 rand.
Wow, that is very
Not
smooth.
only a car, but
that's
some
very
cash
smooth.
too.
Very, very smooth. So today we'll be revealing the host of this brand new exciting quiz show, and every day this week we'll be revealing the 8 exciting celebrities. Now, the host of Tropica Smooth Fan is none other than the bubbly, the exciting, the wonderful Rorisang Thandegi. So, and you probably know her from YoTV, from Mzansi Insider on SABC1, and she also has a big love for music and was part of the funk music band Muzart.
Now, can you remember this song from Rory's?
Play it for me, play it.
Let's take a listen.
Fridge ain't got no milk and honey.
Hey,
You can be worried.
It's got that good lines feel to
yeah.
it.
Life can be so sorry. But I won't be discouraged.
Okay, well, we can jam on all day. You're probably wondering,
I love that song.
How do you enter to stand a chance of winning these incredible prizes and, of course, meet Rory and your favorite celebrity? Well, buy a Tropica, follow the entry details on the label, and select your favorite celeb who you think you know the best to participate in the quiz show.
Absolutely, and then stand a chance of winning thousands of instant daily prizes and a share of 1 million rand. So go right ahead and enter and catch Tropica Smooth Fan, the quiz show on SABC1 from Friday the 28th of September at 6 p.m. And if you're with me, then say yeah! Yeah! Yeah!
Clover Fresh Milk is the #1 milk brand in SA. Made with love by Clover.
Made with love by Clover and Teresa. Welcome back. So good to have you here. Why? Because you bring the coolest, most delicious expressions of our heritage. Love the fact that we've been having a little bit of fun. We're going to be using some of my favorite Clover ingredients today. Obviously, our mature cheddar is one of my absolute treats. But we are making something that really does, I think, this should be a staple around every braai.
Absolutely.
Is portbrood, and we are making it with some other South African staples like biltong. I'm seeing all sorts of lovely additives there. And corn. Are we making a cornbread, or are we making a portbrood, or is it a
It's a corn, biltong cheese. It's a bit of everything.
It
all
looks
the flavor.
amazing. So, Teresa, I'm not going to waste any more of your time.
Right.
Jump right in.
Okay.
Where do we start?
We're going to start with our dry ingredients. Okay, so I'm going to put 2 cups of flour in the bowl. There we go. And we're going to add we've got some salt in here already. I'm going to add some baking powder and some dried oregano for a bit of flavor.
Wow.
And we're just going to mix that up. So that's step number 1. Then all we need to do is put our wet ingredients in a bowl. So it's super easy. We've got our eggs in here. I'm going to add some caramelized red onion.
And I'm
adds
loving
amazing
this
flavour.
this cheese kind of sounding board. The fact that we're using our Clover plain feta. I mean, you could use any of their amazing feta range. Undoubtedly, it's got to be the strongest you can get when it comes to cheddar. But the Clover,
that's right.
Full-flavoured, strong cheddar cheese is amazing. But these are nice sounding boards off each other.
Totally. So I've added peppers, biltong, the cheese, of course. We're going to add our corn.
Did you go with a sweet pepper there?
It's sort of a sweet and spicy for that flavour. Then we're going to add some milk. Of course, about a cup or so.
Again, using our Clover fresh, full cream
That's
milk.
right. And then some feta. I'm just going to crumble some in. So it's really, really simple. You're literally just kind of mixing everything together.
I mean, even intuitively, it's like you know these are going to taste good once they've gone through the braai process.
Absolutely. It's just absolutely packed with flavour. So we're going to cook this one on the braai, but you can do it in the oven as well. So either or. Right, I'm literally just going to add these in here,
Plop it all in.
Mix it together.
The key word here is
easy.
Clover to 33728 if you'd like us to send this genius list of ingredients for our beautiful portbrood.
There we go. It's as simple as that. So we've got our pot over there. Just grease it with a little bit of oil. You can line it with paper as well. And we'll pour the dough in there. And then cook it on the braai for about an hour and a half or so. And just keep putting those coals on top, sort of medium heat coals.
Because you need to surround the pot with heat. How do you know when it's ready?
Well, the easiest way is to put a skewer in and see if it comes out clean. And often when it comes away from the sides of the pot a little bit, then you know it's cooked through.
It's got a bit of structure.
But you can't go wrong with the skewer test.
There we go.
So I'll just put this in here. So about an hour and a half. Oh, got a bit of flour at the bottom. Mix that in. Or in the oven at 180 for about 45 minutes.
And do it fresh. You want to be able to take it out.
Yeah.
Beautiful, fresh, a bit of butter or cheese. If you are so inclined, the keyword again is Clover to 33728. We'll send this ingredients list straight to you. I would keep some of the red onion marmalade aside and a bit of the cheese aside to have on top of it
and have
once
it warm
it's wrapped
with a
up.
bit of butter, fresh from the
completely.
braai. It's absolutely delicious.
Perfect complement to any braai that you're having, but you don't have to do it in the braai. You can do it in the oven.
That's right.
It's going to fill your house with the most amazing smells. We're going to get this one into the oven as we speak. Again, that keyword is Clover to 33728.
Whatever your culture or heritage, there are some South African staples that are loved by everyone. So why not try this Clover mature cheddar cheese, biltong and onion pot bread recipe this braai day. For this recipe, you'll need 2/3 of a cup grated Clover mature cheddar cheese, 1/3 of a cup Clover feta, 2 cups flour, 3 eggs, 1 tin of whole kernel sweet corn, 1 red onion sliced and caramelized, 1 cup Clover fresh full cream milk, 1/3 of a cup beef biltong, 2 tablespoons picante peppers finely chopped, 3 teaspoons of baking powder, 2 teaspoons dried oregano, salt and pepper. Add the flour, baking powder, oregano and salt and pepper to a mixing bowl. Then add the eggs, sweet corn, caramelized onion, Clover fresh full cream milk, Clover mature cheddar cheese, biltong, Clover feta and picante peppers into another bowl. Mix well to combine. Put your wet ingredient mixture into your dry ingredients. Mix until combined. Then pour the dough mixture into the braai pot. Place the pot onto the coals and close the lid. Allow to cook for 1.5 hours. Serve the bread and enjoy with some Clover butter. Spoil your friends and family with this traditional dish baked over the braai coals.
Made with love by Clover.
Oh, I love that. Remember, if you are going to do it on the braai, keep those coals on top of the pot, surround that pot with the heat so you get a nice even burn, and then that is the end result. It looks absolutely amazing, of course, heroing our mature cheddar, courtesy of Clover. Teresa, boom, smashed it. That keyword again is Clover to 33728.
Clover Fresh Milk is the #1 milk brand in SA, made with love by Clover.
Well, we are taking a very quick break on your Feel Good Breakfast show. When we get back, Dr. Eve is in the house and we are talking about the dating industry terms. There are so many. There's ghosting, monkeying, breadcrumbing. We're going to touch all of those topics to make sure you're on top form.
That's right. Also still coming up after the break, this guy, he's making his way over to the bar, trying to order something.
Can I please get a muffin? I
Ooh,
would absolutely...
Princess, the blueberry one looks good. You would want that.
Okay, well, this guy here, Miguel Pereguero, he's still with us on the Feel Good Breakfast Show, Expresso. He's going to be performing for us, so stay tuned for all of that and more.
Enjoy a moment in between with McCafe. See you after the break.
Are you the smoothest fan to Mzansi's biggest stars? Prove it by entering SABC1's Tropica Smooth Fan Quiz Show. Buy Tropica and follow the entry details on the label. Select your favorite celeb who you think you know best to participate in the quiz show. And stand a chance to win thousands of instant daily prizes and a share of 1 million rand. Enter and catch the Tropica Smooth Fan Quiz Show on SABC1, Fridays at 6 p.m.
One, two. Diski. Hey. Joga bola. Play footsie. Controller. Diski. Joga bola. Play footsie. Controller. Diski. Joga bola. Play footsie. Controller. Show us a flair, the speed and finesse, spinning bodies around it, does it the best. Said shippy, shippy. Come on, said shippy, shippy. Show us a flair, the speed and finesse, spinning bodies around it, does it the best. Said shippy, shippy. Come on, said shippy, shippy. Go get it, go get it. Shot, shot. Light it up and let's get it started. Shot, 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 shot.
It's my feel-good birthday show.
Happy birthday, a very happy birthday to you. It's time to have a look at your birthdays. Every day, millions of people all over the world celebrate their birthdays. And we thought to take this moment as we ring in the 10th of September to wish some of your favorite celebrities and you, most importantly, a very happy birthday, right?
Yeah, and you share it with some very, very fine people this morning. Let's turn first to someone who's turning 58 today. Oscar, Golden Globe and BAFTA award-winning British actor Colin Firth. He is recently, of course, starred in the action flick Kingsman, as well as in films like The King's Speech, where he was phenomenal, and of course Bridget Jones's the entire series. Really.
Oh, wonderful! Happy birthday to him, 58. Wow. The second one here is Christelle Janssen van Rensburg. Would like to wish her special person, Monet, a very happy birthday. She says, "May today be super special, super special day to you. We love and appreciate you. Thank you for always having our best interests at heart. Happy birthday."
Oh, then likewise a very heartfelt happy birthday to Riaz Sheikh. Apparently he is a very big fan of Expresso. So from us at Expresso, your extended family, a very happy birthday to you.
And
Riaz.
also a very happy birthday to Celestine,
I would say, yeah.
Willems. Your sister would like to wish you a beautiful 30th birthday. It's a big one.
Yeah, she's gorgeous.
She's
happy
lovely.
birthday. Enjoy it. And then lastly, but certainly not least, to Gladys. She would like to wish, let's see if I can get this right.
Baiti
Badi. Yeah. Happy birthday from all of your loved ones. She is very close to my heart, she says. So happy birthday from us. You are all close to our hearts.
Well, that's our daily round of birthday wishes. Remember, you can share your birthday wish or wish anybody that you love a happy birthday by tweeting us at Expresso Show. Oh, cake, princess, all the time.
Princess, my queen. No. I think she brought it to me. I don't know.
Let's share it.
You go first, but go.
Okay,
no, I love you, man. Good. And?
Alrighty. Yes. Would you put away your phone, Miguel? Okay, we're about to celebrate your birthday with this special dedication from our guest artist, Miguel Preguero. And he's about to sing a song called Tacos and Tequila. Apparently they make a very good combination.
They do make a good combination.
Vámonos.
Tacos and tequila. Everybody ready?
See.
Tacos and tequila. I want tacos and tequila. Give me tacos and tequila. I want tacos and tequila. Forget about rules, we'll break them anyways. We're young and we're reckless, we all have these days. You've had your turn, so don't preach to me what's right. Who you think I am evolves as day turns night. I'm living life to the fullest. It's too short to waste a second. Gotta take it when life gives you that salt and lemon. At the end of the day, doesn't matter what you say. Only two things on my mind: tacos and tequila. Tacos and tequila. I want tacos and tequila. Give me tacos and tequila. I want tacos and tequila. On three, we say tequila. 1, 2, 3, tequila. One more time. 1, 2, 3, tequila. Let's go down while the volume goes up. Bodies moving, liquor spilling, smiles turning into kissing. When I look at you and see the damage you could cause, it won't stop, it's not enough. Just one more. I said, I'm living life to the fullest. It's too short to waste a second. Gotta take it when life gives you that salt and lemon. At the end of the day, doesn't matter what you say. Only two things on my mind: tacos and tequila. Tacos and tequila. I want tacos and tequila. Give me tacos and tequila. I want tacos and tequila. Gonna bring it down, yeah. Let the lights go down while the volume goes up. Smiles turning into kissing. Baby, give me more. Come on. Tacos, tacos. And tequila. I want tacos, tacos. And tequila. Give me tacos, tacos. And tequila. I want tacos, tacos. Come on, come on. I said tacos, tacos, tacos and tequila. 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 Tequila. Tequila, tequila, tequila. Everybody, come on. Tequila. Tequila, 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 tequila.
Thank you.
What? Yes, man. Come on. Monday mornings should be like that. Tacos and tequila and kombucha. Brilliant stuff, man. So, have you put together an EP or an album yet? I mean, I know Vamonos is your first radio single, but what are you doing right now?
I'm actually currently working on a 5-track EP, which will include Vamonos, Tacos and Tequila, and the next song I'll be performing, Shibi Shibi, which is my latest single, and two other surprise songs, you know?
And there's actually, you told me earlier on, there's quite a powerful message, I feel, with regards to why it is that you are doing music. You're trying to encourage people out there, right?
Definitely trying to encourage people, specifically because growing up, obviously my dream was to pursue soccer.
A footballing career.
And that didn't really work out for me. Trying to prevent other people from not reaching their dreams based on the mistakes I made pursuing that.
I'm loving that.
So I'm trying to encourage those to never give up on their dreams, you know.
That's hashtag Monday motivation, all you need, man. Nice one. Miguel Pregueiro on your Feel Good Breakfast show with Tacos and Tequila. We'll have another performance a little bit later on of Shibi Shibi.
Shibi Shibi.
Shibi Shibi coming to you a bit of Shibi later on. You know.
In the national news this morning, Johannesburg's Mayor Herman Mashaba has reiterated that buildings which are not compliant with safety standards must be demolished and rebuilt. This follows a blaze that ripped through the Bank of Lisbon building in the Johannesburg CBD on Wednesday. 3 firefighters died in attempts to extinguish the blaze. There have long been concerns about the building, which housed 3 Gauteng departments, and the failure to adhere to safety regulations. The investigations to determine the cause of the deadly fire are expected to begin today. We apologize for that break. Now, global consultancy Bain & Company said that it will set aside the 164 million rand it received as fees from SARS through a controversial tender to better serve South Africa. An independent investigation by law firm Baker McKenzie has already started to yield findings. One of these being that the engagement between Bain and the tax agency fell short of its operating principles. A statement said Bain would seek guidance from business, government and civil society on how the funds could best be used. Now moving further abroad, 19 people were killed when a light passenger plane crashed into a lake as it tried to land in thick fog in central South Sudan yesterday. Only 4 people, including 2 children, survived the crash. The aircraft was carrying 23 people from the capital Juba to the city of Yiro. Images posted on social media showed the twisted wreckage of the aircraft submerged in water as local fishermen used canoes to help rescue and retrieval efforts. And then finally, France has banned the use of smartphones in schools. Law, of course, is going to be taking effect later this month. Now, France has passed legislation that bans cell phone use in schools. Though the country originally banned cell phone use during all teacher activity back in 2010, the new legislation means that learners between the ages of 3 and 15 will either have to leave their phones at home or keep them off during the school day. Education Minister Jean-Michel Blanquer said that there is a phenomenon of screen addiction, and the main purpose is to protect children and adolescents. The new law takes effect later this month. Well, that was your 8 o'clock news update. I'll, of course, have another bulletin for you tomorrow, but Graham is up next with what's happening in the world of sport.
Let's kick it off with rugby as we wrap up those major headlines this morning. The Springboks fell to their second defeat in the Rugby Championship this season, losing out to Australia by 23 points to 18 on Saturday. While the Boks went into halftime leading by 18 to 17, they failed to add on to that as Australia's Matt Tumua successfully kicked 2 penalties to snatch the win for the men in yellow. The weekend's other match, New Zealand, well, they're marching on. They beat Argentina by 46 points to 24. Then staying with rugby, the Cheetahs and Kings are still in search of their first Pro 14 wins this season, with both teams tasting defeat on Saturday. In Wales, the Cheetahs scored 2 tries as they lost out to the Ospreys by 46 points to 14, while the Kings suffered a 27-22 loss to the Dragons. And of course, in local Currie Cup action this weekend, the Lions thrashed the Free State 47-14. The Bulls beat the Griquas 45-40, while the Sharks downed the Pumas 28-12. In football, the Bafana dropped points in their AFCON qualifying campaign on Saturday as they played out to a goalless draw with Libya in Durban. The point earned from the stalemate does see Bafana hold on to that second spot in Group E with 4 points. Libya currently first, only ahead on goal difference though. In other AFCON qualifying results, Egypt looking very strong, crushing Niger 6-0. Angola edged out Botswana 1-0, while Zimbabwe and Congo, they drew 1 apiece. Then finally, drama aplenty in tennis this weekend. Novak Djokovic was crowned US Open men's champion at Flushing Meadows early this morning, thanks to a straight sets win over Juan Martin Del Potro. Djokovic secured his 3rd US Open title and 14th Grand Slam overall as he saw out the 6-3, 7-6, 6-3 win after 3 hours and 16 minutes on court. In the women's final on Saturday, 20-year-old Naomi Osaka beat Serena Williams in straight sets, but the match was marked by controversy as Williams was docked points and ultimately an entire game for what was alleged to be coaching, racket abuse, and for verbal abuse against the chair umpire. Watch that story unfold over the coming weeks. And that's a wrap of your sport for this morning.
Well, on that note, let's take a final look at what to expect in your roads, starting off in Gauteng and Roodepoort. Now, at the Durban Circle, Deep Circle, there's been an accident and it's involving a truck on a Randfontein Road causing heavy delays. Please approach with caution. And in Durban and Umhlanga, there's been an accident on the M4 route at Blue Lagoon. You can expect heavy delays all the way from Umhlanga, so please approach with caution and allow for some extra travel time this morning. And that's where we leave your traffic on your Feel Good Breakfast Show.
Don't fear the flu. Boost your immune system with Effaflu-C Immune Booster by Pharmadynamics. Effective, affordable healthcare.
Well, we would just like to thank you once again for sending through those beautiful sunrise pictures. If you have some that you'd love to send through, feel free to do so on our Expresso Facebook page. Thank you to Basil West for your picture from Durban North, Engela Venter for your sunrise picture from Pietermaritzburg, also Saki Burger from Limpopo, and last but not least, Janlu Moos for your beautiful picture from Auckland Beach. Thank you so much. But let's take a final look at what to expect in your temperatures today. We start off in Polokwane, where your minimum is 5, your maximum 21. Partly cloudy conditions in Mbombela, 6 is your minimum, 24 your maximum. Pretoria 6 with a high of 20, Johannesburg 5 reaching a high of 20, Mahikeng 5, 23, Klerksdorp 3, 22, Kimberley 4 with a high of 20. If you're in Bloemfontein, 0 is your minimum, 19 your maximum. Partly cloudy conditions in Richards Bay with a low of 11 and a high of 20. Pietermaritzburg 5, 19, Durban 14, 20, Mthatha 4 with a high of 20, East London 10, 19, and Cradock a low of 2 with a high of 20. Then in Port Elizabeth, 11 is your minimum, 20 your maximum. Sunny conditions in George, 8 with a high of 19. Sutherland 2, 16. Cape Town 9 with a high of 20 degrees today. Worcester 4, 23. Springbok 5, 24. And Uppington partly cloudy with a low of 8 and a high of 24 degrees Celsius. That's where we leave your weather on Expresso.
All right, so some like to sing it, some like to shout it from the rooftops, some just say nothing at all. A little shrug is enough to say good morning. But since this morning we are in the presence of royalty.
Thank you.
Her Majesty, the Queen.
Her Queen.
Yes.
I stand.
Osmati Chaba joins us. We sought to find out, how do you say good morning? Especially because you've got a very busy household, 4 boys.
Yeah, 4 boys
around
in the household. And it's pretty interesting because I'm the energetic one. So I'm the good morning, opening curtains.
So you sing it?
I sing it. Yeah. And everyone is usually like, oh God, no, how do you do this so early in the morning? I'm very energetic in the mornings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you find that when you give of that energy, it really charges people up and it helps them to kind of go about their day, hopefully absorbing a little bit of it.
Absolutely. I drag everyone into the world every single day. I wake up, it's another day. Yeah, let's go, let's go. My sister, we live together. She kind of like, she's like the slug in the morning, and she kind of wakes up at 11 o'clock, as in she's up at 7, but she's awake from 11. Yeah.
And also, what I've been stalking you on the gram a little bit, seeing you have daily affirmations.
Yeah.
In the morning. Do you start your day off like that?
I end my day off like that before I sleep, and I start my day off like that first thing in the morning. So I tell myself exactly the kind of day I'm going to have the very next day, and I remind myself before I hit the ground. I say a little prayer, and I get it going.
And you get going.
And then a little,
good morning! Good morning!
Well, it's actually Masichaba's birthday as well today. Happy birthday. We're going to have some rusks for that.
On your birthday.
That's all you can do.
So how do you say good morning? We want to see how you say good morning.
Okay.
Get the rusks.
Okay. All right. I was hoping for a whole cake, but I'll settle for a rusk.
In the building. Don't worry.
Kind of a cake, if you will.
Okay. Yeah, sure.
Good morning.
Look at them.
Listen, we had the craziest collaboration on Twitter, singing happy birthday for Masachapa. Check it out. That's how we said good morning to you, and I hope that you liked it.
No, I loved it. I did. And if you missed it, you know, anybody missed it, just go onto my Facebook. I recorded it live.
Oh, did you?
I had to capture that moment.
Excellent.
Yeah. Okay, so show us and sing to us how you sing good morning to your sister and everyone else in the house.
I'm not sure about doing that with a rusk in my mouth, so let me just take a sip.
That's how we love to do it. Go ahead. Go ahead. Yes, Queen.
Good morning.
That's treble. That treble is in the voice. But listen, you link up with us on our social media pages and let us know, how do you say good morning to all the people around you, whether it be at work, whether it be at home? How do you get your day started with a good morning?
Good morning.
High five.
Wow, I absolutely love that. Good morning. But the nice thing is we get to continue our mornings with Masichaba and Glover, because we catch up with her and learn a little bit more about this incredible woman after the break.
Yeah, no, she is a powerhouse there. Then, of course, Dr. Eve returns to ask all sorts of interesting questions like, do you know what ghosting is? Do you know what ghosting is?
I know what ghosting is.
Are you in the dating game?
No.
Ah, you see. Well, if you're in the dating game, you need to learn the terminology. We will show you after the break.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
It's thrown around in the dating world. Do you know what it means to be breadcrumbing somebody? Huh? What about ghosting? Are you zombieing?
Please don't ever do any of those.
Are you
hard bumming?
Are you hard bumming? Are you pot bellying? I don't know. What is it? I don't understand. I don't know.
That's what we are tackling today, taking a look and at least sprucing up your dating knowledge. But our main question is, what is the dating landscape like for 2018? So perhaps you've got a comment or a question for Dr. Eve. Our lines will be open. It's 021 430 9881. Good morning, Dr. Eve.
Hello.
I'm excited for this chat.
Are you?
I'm victim to some of those terminologies.
Really? Okay. Well, let's try and unpack them a little bit. But firstly, talking about dating, the purpose of dating and how you see it having evolved over time.
Well, right now, I think it's a cutthroat industry.
It's an industry, the dating industry.
It is. It's a cutthroat industry, and people are getting so hurt. So let's trace it back a little, do some history around it. Back in the day, people didn't really date. They had arrangements made for them. Families would put people together because of good political, economic reasons. And there was just no stress in it. You didn't have any choice around it. It wasn't romance or sexual attraction. It was just, this is what would be good for the families to get together. So all the hardship of dating was taken out. And then once the idea of romance and love came in, then people could decide how and who they wanted to be going out with. And then courtship rituals began. And those courtship rituals were very westernized, very colonized in terms of what would be expected of a lady and of a gentleman, because of course it had to be a heterosexist situation, and people knew what to expect from each other. They were quite set in stereotypical ways. And things have changed, you know, remarkably since the world has changed because of the internet. There's been a change in the way that we interact, but the expectations that we have around how do we meet, greet, court, date people. And I think even the word dating is an anomaly.
Kind of old school. Yeah.
Exactly, Kat. I mean, you know, when do you date? It's like you got to go into a hierarchy, and before you actually can say we're dating, you've got to go through a number of different stages. And that's very heartbreaking. Yeah. I think it's very heartbreaking, and I think it's cutthroat, and I think it's very difficult for people to actually know where they stand and what they're doing, because there are no rules anymore. The rituals are gone, and we're left to you and a piece of technology. You're on your own. There is no grandmother guiding you or saying, oh yeah, I remember their parents, or the parents saying, yes, I used to meet, or we lived in the same neighborhood. No more. We're in a global situation, and you're left with way too much information, with way too many people, with way too little rules around what should be done in this situation. And I think that people today are suffering enormous heartache because of the situation that we're in with the so-called dating of 2018.
I know, and technology also makes it easier to do a lot of stalking and research into your potential other, but we will talk about technology and the role social media plays in relationships along with the term ghosting. Our lines will be open. It's 021 430 9881. We're going to be back with Dr.
Haven't
Eve.
you? You've done this. Wow.
Well, our next guest's career in the entertainment industry only proves that you can go from strength to strength. She debuted as an actress and then went on to hosting and producing numerous TV shows, as well as co-hosting Metro FM's The Drive weekdays from 3 to 6 p.m. And of course, she can add being a youth mentor and role model to that list of accomplishments. As this past weekend, she was the guest speaker at the Heavy Chef Entrepreneurship Workshop in Khayelitsha. I would like us to give a very warm Expresso welcome to none other than Masichaba. Hello, everybody. Yes. And might I add that it is also her birthday today. Woo! Happy birthday to you. Wow, you have got us all going. Welcome.
You got me going. Thank you so much. This
and
is
a very
special.
happy birthday.
Thank you. I received that. Thank you so much.
Well, I am so we're honored that you are spending your birthday with us. You could have been doing a myriad of other things, but you're with us on the show. Don't you want to tell us what your biggest hope is for 2018, for this brand new year of yours?
Well, you know, for me, I've reached a point in my life where I'm valuing just being present. Yeah. So me, 10 years ago, I was running. I didn't stop. I did multiple things at the same time. You know, you can liken it to someone who eats and drives and does their makeup at the same time. You're always trying to get things done. And I'm really, for the next year and hopefully for the rest of my life, just wanting to zone in on my life. I'm in a beautiful space. I'm enjoying every moment, and I want to travel more. I want to focus on me more, you know? I've been giving to the world. For the next year, I'll be giving to myself.
I love that. You know what? There's this theme, and it kind of fell into place to me when I read Beyonce's Vogue interview, where she used this word self-care. And I think with women, that's something that we've we've allowed to kind of fall by the wayside because we're trying to be everything to everybody.
Yeah.
But I love what you said. It's about being present in the now.
Yes.
Caring for yourself, putting yourself first. And I really, really love that because, girl, your CV starts here and it ends there, you know, and you've managed to just make it all happen and you've accomplished some pretty amazing things.
Yeah, that I have. And my life has just been an incredibly delightful journey, is what I can call it. It's been a journey of learning, of giving, of developing human beings, developing myself, and really just living out my calling.
Yeah. It really is a journey, isn't it?
Yeah.
Now, you spent this weekend giving back to the lives of young women in Khayelitsha. Do you want to tell us more about the Heavy Chef event where you were a speaker?
Oh my God, that's me!
That's you, girl, look at me!
So I was invited by Heavy Chef, which Fred Rode is the CEO of this amazing platform that was developed to really just inspire and help to empower young entrepreneurs through workshops, through tours. And so when I received an invitation, it was a hell of a nod. It was quite refreshing and an honor, because what a heavy chef is someone who walks the walk, or rather walks the talk, and really just lives with integrity. Someone who practices what they preach.
Yeah.
So to be recognized as a heavy chef amongst people like Deputy President Thabo Mbeki, former Deputy President DJ Sbu, it really is quite cool. And I certainly hope that every young person aspires to be a heavy chef.
Yeah, well, that's powerful. Now, not only do you host on television, but you also host a radio show on Metro FM with Mo Flava, The Drive from 3 to 6 p.m. What is it about? I mean, TV's great, but there's something just equally as powerful when it comes to radio. What do you love most about the two mediums?
So television is a wonderful platform because we are able to communicate very important messages. You know, I think mass media comes with a huge responsibility.
Yeah.
Television is different to radio because it's more visual, obviously, but you're able to have a little bit more fun with your presentation, and people can see you, you can wear designer clothes. Radio is a lot more intimate. And with radio, if you're going to present to people, you're going to lose people. Radio requires you to be your most authentic self. You can just hear it when someone is not being themselves on the radio. So it's a scary space because when you start out, you feel like, oh my God, I have to remove all the layers. And they might like me, they might not. But what is confidence? Confidence is not walking into a room and hoping people will like you. Confidence is saying, even if they don't like me, I'll be okay.
Wow. Shoo. That's powerful.
Yeah.
That is so powerful. And that is why she is where she is, ladies and gentlemen. Mase Chaba and Ndlovu celebrating her birthday today. Thank you so much for sharing it with us. You look absolutely incredible. And of
Thank
course,
you. And by the way, I just have to plug this young designer.
Plug it.
So this is a Cape Town designer that I'm wearing.
Yeah.
Mzugisi has got a label called Imprint. You can find it on Instagram at imprint_ZA. So you know Imprint.
Yes.
And I met him at the talk that I was giving. He came to come hear me speak in Khayelitsha. I got my makeup done today by a wonderful young up-and-coming makeup artist that I'm still grooming. And as soon as I'm ready to reveal her, when she's ready to do pro makeup, you can find all the information on my Instagram page as well. She's quite
basically
incredible.
just take it in this gorgeous, you know, finished product that it is. You look absolutely amazing.
Thank you.
I love it. I'm going to steal that dress when you leave. And of course, you can get your daily dose of Mase Chaba along with Mo Flava on Metro FM's The Drive, weekdays from 3 to 6 p.m. Don't miss it.
Well, we are back with Dr. Eve as we continue our relationship chat. And this morning, we're taking a look at what the dating landscape is like for 2018. Things have certainly changed, but we would love to hear from you. Our lines will be open. It's 021-430-9881. Dr. Eve, I know we've been teasing. We're going to take a look at all of the terminologies. Before we get to that, can we quickly just add to the mix of dating technology and social media in particular? How has that changed things?
Unfortunately, it's, and I've said it before, it's the only way that people have to meet each other. The days of just meeting randomly or through people doesn't happen that often, which is, you know, a real great pity. So this is the new normal. One has to adapt to it, and we do. You know, people just adapt to it, that this is the way it is. And so you find ways to make it safer for yourself. What it's done, it has brought in so much choice that we have changed our attitude towards dating. There's a sense of somebody is not there to be committed to. So there's a sense there is so many other people to meet that I don't really have to spend time getting to know you. I can just swipe you away. I'm judging you on what you look like rather than any other characteristic or personality trait because I don't really get to know any of that. Sure. So there is a plethora of choice, and when we have too much choice as human beings, we're more unhappy. And there's been great research done on that by Professor Barry Schwartz, actually, a sociologist, who said that the more choices we have, he used the analogy of salad dressing. If you give people 10 salad dressings to choose, they will take 2 home and they'll feel quite satisfied. If you give them a whole cupboard of salad dressing to choose from, like 40 or 50, they'll take 2 and they go home and they feel unbelievably dissatisfied. And they feel, oh my goodness, I've missed out on the other 48 that I could have chosen. And he's saying that this is quite analogous to what's happening in the dating world, where we take somebody out on, we meet them for a coffee or for a dinner, and we feel, oh my goodness, but there are another 1,000 others that are better than the one that I'm sitting in front of. So I don't really invest, I don't really commit, I don't take it seriously, I don't need to get to know them, because the minute I leave this date, I'm going to get into my vehicle or into my transport and I'm going to get online and I can meet somebody else who may be better.
Yeah. So then hence, I guess, the evolution of these terms that we find,
Exactly,
right? Like,
exactly, Kat.
Ghosting.
Yes, exactly.
Let's discuss some of the more common new terms in the dating world and what they mean.
Okay, so breadcrumbing would be the one that is used most often. So
it's horrible because I've been victim to that. They give you just enough to keep you interested, but nothing more.
Exactly. It's like Hansel and Gretel in the woods. You drop in little breadcrumbs, which is flirting, little comments, but they're there kind of regularly and they're letting you know that they're around. But there's never a commitment. There's never, let's go for a date, or let's meet somewhere, or let's actually do something together offline. So that's a very heartbreaking experience for people. Okay. And then the one that you said just now, Zoe, the ghosting, which is absolutely awful, that you're in conversation with somebody online all the time, and suddenly they absolutely disappear. They ghost you. They disappear. There isn't any explanation as to why they go. They just disappear out of your life. And there's no way that you can get hold of them. You cannot phone them. You cannot email them. They're just gone out of your life. And I want you to be sure, and I'm sure that our viewers can let us know about this, that when you get online and you start chatting with somebody, you feel an attachment. It's not that you only feel attached to people when you meet them in real life. It's hyper-personal. You're disclosing a lot of information about yourself. And you feel you really know this person, or you've been vulnerable online to this person that you've never met. And suddenly they go.
So let's take a quick break and we'll be back again. We're going to keep those lines open, 021-4309-881. The new terminology is being thrown around in the dating world. We've already spoken about breadcrumbing and ghosting, but what about monkeying and zombieing, and what do those mean, and so much more after the break.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back. We're live, large and in charge on your Feel Good Breakfast Show. Happy Monday. It's Relationship Talk Time with Dr. Eve, and we're talking about the ever-evolving world of the dating industry, as it's called now, because now social media has also been thrown into the mix. And the terms that are being used, people are monkeying each other. People are zombieing. on one another. I don't even know what that means. I just tried to use it constructively in a sentence to make sense.
Dr. Eve, it sounds like a circus, and I suppose at the end of the day, that is what the dating world is coming down to. But what is monkeying?
Monkeying is like monkey bars, where you move from one to the other very quickly. You kind of go from one to the other. Yeah, so, you know, the advice that I give to people is please go on a second date with somebody, or a second meeting up with somebody. The first time, people are not going to be presenting themselves in a very confident manner, and give them an opportunity. Get to know somebody. That's really what you want to be doing, and you would do it if you were offline before technology came along. You would be meeting up with somebody again. Please take a second chance, or even a third, but by the third, you're going to know that you shouldn't be there. So monkeying is when you move from one to the other very rapidly, and that's just there because you can, because there's just so much choice, and you're always hopeful. You know, people today, there is an instant gratification culture that we live in, and it therefore goes into the commodification of people as well, of dating as well. We're just never satisfied with what is. We think we can dispose of the one and then replace it with somebody else who's better. So that's monkeying. And then we've got zombieing. What does that mean? Is that we have come back from the dead.
So basically when the ghost reappears.
Exactly, the ghost reappears in the form of a zombie.
I feel like that happens to me too.
It happens to you. Oh my sweetheart, such a broken heart. Right, look at her. And it's real, right? It feels absolutely dreadful, and it's heartbreaking. So I say it's a cutthroat world of dating. So you've now made peace with the fact that the person has now ghosted you and disappeared from you, and you're sitting there and you're soothing yourself, or you've kind of moved on, and you know, sometime later they come back again like nothing's happened. It's like they've arrived from the dead and they're back in your life again. And then there's the wonderful R-bombing, which is...
R-bombing? What's R-bombing?
We need a notebook for all of these terms.
So that is when somebody is going to absolutely bomb you with contact with you, you know, liking you and wanting to friend you and wanting to do all that. Then that person, at the same time, they've disappeared from your life, but then they continue to like your photos or your posts, your Instagram posts. They continue to be present in your life, even though you think they're out of your life. But they don't have contact, so they won't interact or chat to you. But they will like you, so they're showing you.
Hey, I'm here.
Exactly. I mean, that's kind of cruel, right? It's kind of cruel that they're there, but they're not interacting, and you're trying to recover from a heartbreak situation of this person having disappeared in some way. So we have access to people that we normally would not ever have access to. Back in the day, you know, you'd lock your door, or there would be no more post-it arrives in your post box. Now there's absolute available contact. And as you said earlier, the cyberbullying, the cyber harassment that is possible when somebody's done with you.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we're going to leave our lines open, 0214309881, and we'll have one more chat with Dr. Eve about the ever-evolving world of dating and the terminology that comes along with that, and a term called togoloshin. Togoloshin. We will explain togoloshin after, togoloshin.
So Cindy Chin, what you missed that side is they're going through dating terminology, and there is ghosting and breadcrumbing. So we've got some breadcrumbing going on here. Togolosh, I don't know, Brew. I don't know what that means. We've got Woolies registered dietitian Cindy Chin here to unpack something that there is a bit of mystery around it. We've obviously had the opportunity to start on our plant-based food journey with Woolworths, and the fact that you guys are making it that much easier to inspire us to start including more plant-based elements in our diet. But I think, can we start at the very beginning? We're not talking about a vegan diet or a completely vegetarian diet. What does that plant-based journey actually mean to you?
So as a dietitian, if you speak to any dietitian, when we say plant-based, we mean basing the majority of your diet on plant foods and whole plant foods, so not your overly processed things, so legumes, beans, lentils, nuts, seeds, fruits and veggies, and then less or no animal food. And if you want to include a bit of animal foods, that's fine too. And that's part of people being on different parts of the journey. You will get extreme people that are vegan who prefer not to include any of those foods, and then you will get those that are flexitarian that will include meats now and again.
Flexitarian, I absolutely love that, because it's an interesting one, because it sits on culture, on spiritual belief in some instances, so it is fully loaded, but there also is the health component. Why are you guys driving this message of plant-based? What are the health benefits?
So there's plenty of research to show that a healthful plant-based diet can lower risk for heart disease. And there's loads of evidence for when you eat more fruits and vegetables, it can actually lower risk for things like heart disease and high blood pressure and stroke. So very strong evidence to support having a plant-based diet. But you do get the flip side. So not all plant-based foods are necessarily healthy. Think fruit juice, think white bread, potato chips.
A lot of deep frying going on.
Yeah.
I think what has really jumped out for me here is, yes, you've got a great range of products, and I'm going to ask you to take us through some of these, but each one of these seems to inspire you in a direction about looking at things slightly differently. And I'm going to ask you to start with these pilafels, which sounds awesome, but take us through the range of products that you brought here to display this and why it's so important to inspire this kind of thinking.
So often when you think of like eating, getting yourself inspired with a bag of lentils, it's a bit tricky. So what we've tried to do is like take it a bit further for you. So, like, for example, here we've got something called pilafels, which is a play on falafel, obviously. Yeah. And what we've done is we've incorporated bulgur wheat and whole wheat, breadcrumb, couscous, and peas as the base to actually make like a falafel type of yummy, delicious vegetable.
Yeah, and you've got a lovely range of textures there as well, but you've also got a bit of zing, and I think that's the key thing with veggie-based, any kind of foray into the veggie field is ramp up the spices, ramp up the textures, make it interesting.
Yeah.
So what else have you got for us?
So we've got some Kiev, so if you want to go for a traditional crumbed type of offering, we've got that, so brown and fried, but actually with a vegetable base. So this is a veg risotto Kiev. And then we've got what I really like is the so this we've seen that with the drizzle, which I really like. That's amazing. Then my daughter's favorite are these little patties. So you get different types. This is a butter bean sweet corn spinach burger, and then you've got a mushroom one as well. And what's really lovely is that they just, so when you give them a light frying or grill in the oven, they just give a lovely crispness and just, again, texture and variety.
It feels like your protein. I think the bottom line is we, certainly from a South African perspective, we eat far too much meat because we feel that you've got to have this balance of. But often what we're looking for is a flavor profile or is a textural thing. So if you include those elements, get genius. Do you have one tip maybe to leave with our viewers who are looking to ramp up their plant-based diet?
I think you've hit on it. I think it's to include variety and diversity in your diet, because that gives you healthier everything, and it's important for gut flora as well. Yeah. But also I think one big tip, I would say, explore different flavors and try to make it interesting, and don't stick to one thing, because that diversity in diet is what makes it healthy. So if you stick to one thing only, you're only going to get one set of nutrients, whereas if you eat a wide variety, not just these meals, but also all these other delicious things behind
inspired by your garden, I love it.
Inspired by that, get ideas and try different flavors. I think that's key to a healthy diet as well.
I love it, man. You eat with your eyes, so make it look amazing. But guards, try one of these new ranges. Inspire yourself. Who knows where it'll lead?
All right, so we're back again with Dr. Eve. We're talking about the ever-evolving world of dating and the terms that come around with it. We've spoken about breadcrumbing, zombieing, ghosting, monkeying, and I'm trying to coin a term called togoloshiing, which is reserved for those people who, like tigoloshis, are sent to you in the very early hours or weird hours of the morning, and they call you, hello, hi, what's up?
That already exists. It's called a booty call.
In the South African term, tigoloshing. Anyway.
I like that term. Let's make a trend.
But let's continue with what is happening right now in the world of dating. And you had a question to ask me.
Well, Dr. Eve, we've now gone through the terminologies, but let's take a look at the psyche of it. Like, why would someone ghost or breadcrumb or do all of these things we've discussed? Like, what do they even realize they're doing it?
I think it's simply because they can, because we all can. It's such an easy way not to be confronting human emotions, one's own emotion and emotion with somebody else. What my research showed when I did research in cyber infidelity was that people have less conflict online, which is why they like being online, that they engage more playfully. It's just a much happier, more optimistic place. So when you're offline, you really have to look at somebody in the face and you have to say, you know what, I'm feeling uncomfortable with you. I didn't like the way you spoke to me. I think we should negotiate things around decisions we're making. When you're online and you're doing this chatting, you don't have to do that. And it's the same then with moving on. It's like, okay, I don't have to talk to this person. I don't have to negotiate anything. I don't even have to do any kind of what I call TRC, Truth and Reconciliation. All I have to do is just click a button and just never return back to that person again. So part of what happens in this new cutthroat world of dating is that people don't do any kind of, investing. So they feel also there's no commitment. And I think this is the most heartbreaking part of dating today. There isn't a sense of commitment. Therefore, if I cut you off now and disappear, I haven't really committed. I don't really care about your feelings, and I'm going to take my feelings elsewhere. Because you're not allowed to catch feelings when you're dating today, right? You're not allowed to catch
Do you feel it's something that happens with age, as in it's reserved for a particular age group to
I'm
feel
so pleased you
non-committed
asked
like
that.
that? Or is it a general thing that human beings are doing now?
I'm so pleased you asked that, because, we think about it in terms of you young people, but, people my age, people my age are dating as well. And it happens across the board, across all ages, that this is the kind of behavior that's happening online. And it causes incredible pain for people, irrespective of what the age is. There's a sense of, I don't have to commit because there's somebody different. And also, if we look at the statistics of how people are engaging, people are getting married way later. Singles are a status of great celebrity, in fact. People feeling proud to be single. You don't have to be shameful of it anymore. Yeah. So I don't need to be committed to you. So I can ghost you.
Self-love, yeah.
Self-love is self-love, yeah.
All right, well, thank you very much, Dr. Eve. I think hopefully beyond all of the ghosting and the breadcrumbing and whatever, we'll just stick to good old-fashioned dating. Thank you very much for joining us. We'll do this again next week. Thanks, babe.
Also to come on your Feel Good Breakfast Show, we are heading to the kitchen where we make a delicious vegan bean chili. Chili.
Now that sounds really, really delicious. And also coming up after the break, this guy has proven he's got star power. He got a wooden mic there by Idols South Africa. But today, he is here by Expresso, and he's going to be performing for us. It's Miguel. So, coffee, yes?
Thank
All
you.
this and more coming up after the break on your Feel Good Breakfast Show. Is it yours?
It's mine, boo-boo.
I have one. Thanks.
It's my Feel Good Breakfast Show.
Welcome back. You're live with Expresso. Thank you so much. As we return to the kitchen, I'm going to whip up something hearty and healthy. Remember, September is Heart Awareness Month, and to help us keep our heart healthy and happy today, we're going to be making a delicious vegan bean chili with Be Well garlic flavored canola oil. I've been loving the flavored variants. Now, this versatile flavored oil is not only healthy, but adds a great added flavor dimension. And you can definitely reduce your risk of getting cardiovascular disease by eating certain foods every single day. And this certainly fits the bill. This recipe includes some key ingredients that are not only tasty, but super healthy too. And to help me wade through actually what looks like quite a simple ingredients list, Masichaba, come get in your birthday girl. Today you must be giving yourself a round of applause wherever you go and whatever you do.
Absolutely.
I mean, obviously, being the heart of your family, do you do a lot of cooking? Is it something that inspires you, or is it something that you have to do because you've got to feed the masses?
Absolutely not. I mean, I don't believe in working hard. So I already work hard. I employ someone for that. but I do enjoy good food, and I do delegate and sort of give ideas. You know what I mean?
Girl,
that's a lot of work.
Your style, sister. I thought really hard. Well, then you and I are kind of in exactly the same boat because Nicole, our amazing studio foodie, whipped us up. But we are focusing on heart health at the moment, and we're also trying to inspire people to look at a plant-based diet. By that, we're not meaning going completely vegan, but in this case, we are. So we've got a great kind of selection of different ingredients, all sitting on different sides of the scale when it comes to glycemic index, but we're including legumes and, of course, a little bit of zing and a bit of chili. So what we've used here, I've got this going, warmed it up just a little bit, sauteed the mushrooms just a little bit, I mean, or rather the onion, just so they start to brown and go a little bit translucent. Then I've got a beautiful array of colour, and you know, we eat with our eyes here. Colour has got to be the most important part when assembling fresh ingredients.
That's good for babies as well, because I mean, I've got 5-year-olds who just love colour, and the more exciting it looks, you know, the more keen they are to eat it, you know?
Completely, and they do say you eat with your eyes, but with good reason, because our brains are literally preconditioned to start preparing the body to absorb the nutrients that you're getting from these particular colours. So we've got different colours. We've got red and green pepper going in there. Great source of vitamin C as well. It's going to give us a lovely textural. I'm going to just ramp
And the
up
great thing is that
heat
every single household pretty much has, you know, most of these ingredients. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, and this doesn't have to break the bank. I think people get a little bit scared when it comes to vegetable-based diets, that you're going to have to go above and beyond to make it interesting, but something really simple that anyone can do. We've got sweet potato here. We've cut it up into small cubes so that, because obviously it's going to take a little bit longer to cook. Not too high on the glycemic index.
I love sweet potato, and my babies love sweet potato. So we're off to a great start.
It's amazing. Did you find that your own flavour palette changed with the kids?
No.
Do they eat what you like?
They
Have you started to eat what they like?
I eat. But fortunately, I love really good, tasty, healthy food. So
there we go.
Yeah.
No, it helps, and I found with my little boy, instilling that early on is such a good thing. So we put some red kidney beans in there as well, and legumes are going to add a bit of a meatiness texture to this. And we want, if you're going to replace a chili con carne with a vegetable, you need it to have that textural, the same sort of element. We're going to throw in some black beans as well, just for good measure. And this is nice because you can make a massive, massive load.
Right.
And literally feed the masses.
Sure, and I'm crazy about beans. Like, it's as if you guys actually knew that I
We've
love sweet potato, I love beans.
Kat warned you we were stalking beforehand. Chopped and peeled tomatoes with some mixed herbs as well, just to add a bit more moisture to the mix. It's starting to really come together beautifully, and I think the most important thing for me when you're doing anything that is plant-based, give it a bit of zing, give it a bit of a zest, give it a bit of spice. Oh, I love it.
Smelling good.
So I'm going to move those out the way. I think the real key thing here for me is using the B-Well canola oil. Obviously, we know that it's got a high smoking point, so it's going to be a lot healthier, but that garlic just adds a beautiful little infusion, so I'm actually going to add just a tiny bit more. And that really is as simple as that. A bit of zing, a bit of bite, a bit of texture, and loads of nutrients.
Fantastic. What would you eat it with?
I would probably have this all on its own, just as is.
Yeah.
If you wanted to introduce a meat, you could, but this is a beautiful way if you want to start with a meat-free Monday.
You know, I was about to say, it's really important to just get to a point where we're not eating meat every single day. You know, at least have 1 or 2 days where you just don't touch it.
Cindy Chin, our dietitian I was chatting to earlier, said that there is a new common thought that we only need 400 grams of meat a week.
Is that right?
Most South Africans are going, boo, right now. But hopefully that's inspired you to look at your vegetable or plant-based diet slightly differently. This is a vegan recipe that goes the distance. It's packed full of flavour. And of course, you can get this, this recipe sent directly to you. Just send Be Well to 33728.
So after all of the heavy cooking during the winter months, because you've been preparing beautiful vegan meals like that, and soups aplenty, I'm sure, the surfaces and cabinets need a good clean out to freshen them up for the coming summer months. So we're talking about your countertops, your cabinets today, and as usual, we have no hesitation in recommending our very own effective cleaning trio.
And as you know, we are always coming through with the tips. The first one is, I have to tell you about MAC washing, MAC dishwashing liquid. It's the best performing dishwash liquid on the market. It's high active foam formula combined combined with the power of lemon, cuts grease, it removes food residue, and it leaves items thoroughly clean and fresh smelling. Now, MAC Multi-Purpose Cream Cleaner contains an effective detergent and a soft abrasive to lift dirt and stubborn stains, leaving surfaces shiny, clean without scratching.
Just the way we like them.
Just the way we like them. And then we also have the MAC Multi-Purpose Thick Bleach, which combines a detergent which does the cleaning and the bleaching agent which disinfects and removes odors, giving 24-hour germ protection. Now, obviously, we keep our kitchens clean on a daily basis, but when undertaking a deep clean, we need to attend to those areas that we don't have time to deal with every day. Grease and dirt, they build up over time, especially in the cabinets around the hob and oven, and of course inside our pantry cupboard where, you know, different food stuff is stored, right?
Yeah, we don't like to get in there, but we need to, especially because it's spring cleaning.
It's time for that.
Of spring,
it's time to do that.
So first of all, start up by opening up those drawers and other storage spaces where your utensils and gadgets are stored. Then firstly, decide what it is that you really need and discard the rest. It's very, very easy to do that because you know what it is that you use every single day. The keepers should have been washed thoroughly, and of course using very strong solution of MAC dishwashing liquid to remove any grease residue, dust and grime. And then use MAC cream cleaner squirted neat onto a damp cloth or a sponge to wash out the drawers, because obviously you don't want to be taking clean utensils and putting them into dirty drawers. Clean everything out. And then it's time to then repack, ensuring that you can find what you need immediately and have a storage plan that kind of works with the way in which you cook. You know, most often, like if you're one of those chefs that does mise en place, so you want to cut up your onions before you cook, have your knives close by and within reach.
That's right. Okay, now, well, most of us do this. We do wash everything before we store it away. Now, the storage cupboards need to be cleaned as well before you put the stuff that you've just washed. Now, unpack your shelves and use a solution of MAC Cream Cleaner to wash cupboard shelves. Now, you need to always work from the furthest corner at the back to the front to remove any buildup of dirt and grime.
Yeah, otherwise you're kind of just reversing your
work. What are you doing?
You got to get... there we go.
Exactly. Now, before repacking, why not give everything a good wash? Go and do that. MAC dishwashing liquid is ideal for this chore. Its high foam formula and power of lemon cuts grease, and again, like I said, it cleans to a shiny finish, which is what you want.
Yeah. Now, the big question you got to ask yourself is, do you need all of that clutter on your countertops? Simply no, you don't. So this is a good time now to have a good clear out. So start with storing your recipe books on a special shelf for your recipe books that are within reach but out of the way of your preparation area. Then take everything off of the countertop and give it a good scrub using MAC Cream Cleaner and then of course medium scrubbing brush so that you don't want to hurt the surfaces of course. And pay attention to the area where the counter abuts the wall. So they're in those grooves in the corner there. You want to work them out because you do it once every couple of months, so give it a good cleaning now. And then of course rinse and add a few drops of MAC Thick bleach and then give it a final rinse to leave your surfaces hygienically clean as well. Now, a special note if you have granite tops at home, which are always lovely to work on, always lovely to look at, but reseal them at least once a year to prevent any staining that happens on them. And of course, the cupboards need also to be washed very thoroughly and at the change of the season. And then everything should be unpacked and then check what foodstuffs is still usable and what needs to be discarded. Because I know, like, my cupboard right now needs one of those.
It's in a state.
And then, of course, depending on your style of cooking, make sure that your ingredients that you use the most are very easily accessible. Use a solution of MAC Cream Cleaner to scrub shelves, and remember to clean the underside of your shelves as well. Don't forget that. Clean the downside and the outside of the surface of the cupboard doors, and then you can add a few drops of MAC Thick bleach to the final rinse to keep your cupboards hygienically clean. And then allow those shelves to dry before packing, because you don't want that mold to build up over time. And then make sure that your foodstuffs are securely closed, either by replacing in a lidded container or by closing the packets with a peg.
Wow.
Okay. We've pretty much sorted out
We've covered everything. This just it just makes me want to leave the studio now and head on home to get cleaning. Now, MAC makes cleaning really easy. You can win a MAC hamper every week. Congratulations to Moira, who won the hamper last week. To stand a chance of winning, SMS the keyword MAC to 33728. Now, as you know, SMSs are charged at R1.50. No free SMSs apply. T's and C's can be found on expressoshow.com. Now, this week's giveaway ends at midnight. When? This Friday, right?
This Friday,
That's right.
So get out there and get entering.
MAC dishwashing liquid has a high foam formula that quickly and easily cuts through grease, making it easy for you to shine.
Well, in support of World Suicide Day today, we are taking a look at the important role that emotional support pets play in the lives of people suffering from depression and anxiety.
Ask any pet parent what the favorite part of their day is, and guaranteed it is getting home to their loved four-legged friends. Always happy to see them, always open to cuddles, and always willing to lend an ear. Pet therapy has become a very real phenomenon, offering those suffering from depression some much-needed attention. We have Lucy Breitenbach, animal behavior practitioner at Honey's Garden, in studio to explain how pet therapy can help reduce stress, anxiety and depression. Lucy, good morning.
Good morning.
Well, we can't also exclude our very special guest, Lila, this morning. What makes Lila so special?
So Lila is an extremely sensitive dog. We actually selected her to be a diabetic alert dog, and then quickly when we started training her, we realised that that's not really her forte, and her forte is more to be an emotional support dog to help somebody with a psychiatric problem. She's extremely sensitive to emotions, very obedient and trainable, and she's just got something really special that we couldn't say no to.
That's unbelievable. So how exactly does it work? How does having a pet help reduce anxiety and depression? Can I say hello to her?
Yes, you can.
Hi, Lila. Hello.
Petting kittens and puppies lower blood pressure and make people happier. It actually releases the same endorphins as the feeling that we feel for love when we stroke our pets. But these dogs are trained as emotional support dogs and psychiatric service dogs. So their jobs are actually to recognise cues in a person with depression or anxiety, amongst other psychiatric disorders, and help that person get through the day. For many people, that's just keeping to a routine and a reason to wake up in the morning, to look after their dog, a sense of responsibility and self. And for others, it's to do proper tasks, to protect them, to make them feel safer, to give them something for people to talk to them about, a conversation starter.
It's incredible.
Yeah.
Now, I can only imagine training dogs and pets for these purposes. At what age do you start training them, and what kind of training goes involved in terms of the nutrition?
Okay, so we start training dogs anything from between 8 weeks up to 3 years. So Lila's actually one of our older dogs in training. The majority of them are around a year to 18 months old. We like to use rescue dogs to give them a second chance as well, and take them from a situation where they maybe weren't getting their true value. So she's 3 years old. What goes into the training? A lot of obedience, a lot of work. Every day they're at the farm training, like school.
Okay.
Lots of public work so that they're okay to cope in different environments and they can still do their job in different environments. And of course we feed them hills because we want them to be able to live long, happy lives and keep their owners happy for as long as possible. So a real good nutrition is important for that.
I've noticed you've got some food or treats.
Food, this is Hills.
Okay.
So we actually use this as their training treats.
As a reward?
Yes, as rewards. So all of our training is very positive, very reward based. And because it's so nutritious, they take it as treats. So we don't have to put them overweight or use high fatty treats to get their attention. This is enough for them. So yeah.
Well, Lila certainly has a very beautiful story, and I know that you have many success stories. Which one in particular stands out for you?
Last year we had Holly, the service dog. She's a diabetic alert dog, a little husky girl. She has gone up to Gauteng to work with a teenager with diabetes, and she is consistently alerting her person at night, during school. I think she also alerted her during a hockey match.
Sure.
She put on this big display on the side of the field to get attention because she couldn't get to Lisa, and actually was alerting her, throwing her test kit around in the air, making a big scene, to a low blood sugar. So that to me is really incredible, and that shows that what we're doing is really working for people.
So Lucy, thank you for joining us. Lila, thank you for being here, sweetie. Oh, absolutely incredible. And according to statistics by South African Depression and Anxiety Group, 23 people commit suicide daily and 460 attempt suicide every 24 hours. The World Health Organization ranks South Africa as having the 8th highest suicide rate in the world, with 8,000 South Africans taking their own lives each year. So pay attention to what is going on around you, and something as small as a smile or lending an ear can really help save someone else's life.
Science is at the heart of biology-based nutrition. The secret to lifelong health, it all starts with science.
We're nearing the end of your Feel Good Breakfast show on a Monday. Miguel's still with us. After the break, he's performing his final song. It's called Shibi Shibi. You don't want to miss it. Stay with us.
Dischi, hey, joga bola. Play foot.
This is a PSL commentation.
Play dischi, hey, joga bola. Play footsie. Controller. Play dischi, joga bola. Play footsie. Controller. Play dischi, joga bola. Play footsie. Controller. Shows the flair, the speed and finesse. Spinning bodies around and does it the best. Said shippy, shippy. Come on, said shippy, shippy. Show the flair.
It's my Feel Good Breakfast Show.
Oh man, welcome back to your Feel Good Breakfast Show. It's a Monday morning. We're live, large and in charge, and we're about to shut it down right now with Miguel Breguero, who's been providing us with the most amazing music. Great vibe, dude. And I'm hoping that you have some live performances coming up where people can catch you.
Yes, actually this weekend coming I'm at Gold Reef City. There's a Born to Perform show happening for promoting the top talented youth singers of the country. So I'm very excited as one of the guest performers with Craig Lucas, Paxton, who are a couple of the
What a stage,
so very
what a stage.
excited.
And I know people can follow you online at Miguel Breguero to catch up with you on what you're doing. New song is out. You've dropped the music video today. Called Shibi Shibi.
Shibi Shibi.
Let's go. Yo, that idea.
Let's do this.
Play dischi, hey, joga bola. Miguel Breguero. Play footsie. Controller. Play dischi, joga bola. Play footsie. Controller. Play dischi, joga bola. Play footsie. Controller. Shows the flair, the speed and finesse. Spinning bodies around and does it the best. It's shippy, shippy. Come on, sit shippy, shippy. Shows the flair, the speed and finesse. Spinning bodies around and does it the best. It's shippy, shippy. Come on, sit shippy, shippy. Go get it, go get it. Shot, shot. Light it up and let's get it started. Shot, shot. Take a chance cause I know you got it. Shot, shot. Everything that you've ever wanted. Ever wanted. You ready? Let's go! Shippy, shippy. Shippy, shippy. Shippy, shippy. Shippy, shippy. Play dischi, joga bola. Play footsie. Controller. Play dischi, joga bola. Play footsie. Controller.
Hit it, Benny.
Heading for a pretty big shot. They know I'm a pretty big shot. Now everybody clap hands for the big shot. Running with my team down for the big shot. Dischi baller don't hate the play, just play the game cause we love the game. Dischi baller don't hate the play, just play the game cause we love the game. She be downtown in the bar, she be right now in your car. Everybody drinks in the air. We about to take shots. Shimmy, shimmy. Up, down, left, right. Shimmy, shimmy. Your team's too tight. Shimmy, shimmy. Stop being uptight. Shimmy, shimmy.
Expresso Morning Show, made with love by Clover.
Another Feel Good production.
Take a chance 'cause I